turn to hell, I gotta stay alive. Lord have mercy on my soul, stand by my side. I killed the old man and I watched him die. Lost a couple niggas, guess he wasn't my round. They play my niggas, lay you down, they all down the ride. Keep my gun in my arm, I gotta stay alive. I gotta stay alive. Keep my gun in my arm, I gotta stay alive. Tell me we don't live in hell. My brother doing 55 in that cell. Nigga claiming he your round here, spin shell. Same nigga you put on to hit the stand and tell. How the fuck you turn your back on a nigga that love you? Treat your kids like my kids, treat you like a brother. I told my dog, let's leave the streets to serve the most high. He said, fuck that shit, he trying to sell another pot. His daddy killed him, put him in the trunk, set him on fire. His wife was pregnant, he ain't never get to see his child. Had me thinking to myself, what happened if I die? Look my babies in the eyes, I gotta stay alive. I put my ego on the shelf and my pride to the side. I'm with some niggas who gon' step and got God on their side. Got in the ISUPK, they keep asking me why. As I do the work of the Lord, I gotta stay alive. Face the east, pray alive. I seen heaven turn to hell, I gotta stay alive. Lord have mercy on my soul, stand by my side. I killed the old man and I watched him die. Lost a couple niggas, guess he wasn't my round. They play my niggas, lay you down, they all down the ride. Keep my gun in my arm, I gotta stay alive. I gotta stay alive. Keep my gun in my arm, I gotta stay alive.
You ever pump a pack with a snake by your side? Yes, I did. A man reach out to God before he died? Yes, I did. I know the Lord forgive us for these sins, but I'm starting to think the kingdom of heaven is for these kids. I told my daughter, there's one man in your bed, I won't stand for less. For my son, I hit your head on that fragile legs. I lost some niggas to that dope, I lost niggas to the feds. Remember Jono tried to stick me for that cheese on that bread, yeah, I was thugging with Lucky and that nigga left me for dead. Endured to the end cause I listened to what was said. Mother told me she loved me when she was sick up in the bed. I was running them streets but the truth made me a man. Shit I don't really speak cause she'll never understand. That's why I ain't even tell her about these voices in my head. I'm still trying to manage my anger like Uncle Craig.
I seen heaven turn to hell, I gotta stay alive. Lord have mercy on my soul, stand by my side. I killed the old man and I watched him die. Lost a couple niggas, guess he wasn't my round. They play my niggas, lay you down, they all down the ride. Keep my gun in my arm, I gotta stay alive. I gotta stay alive. Keep my gun in my arm, I gotta stay alive.
One West World. First everybody. Bitch, this is more than what they ever played us. Living by put me in the gas. Born in 91, pumping 93. Winter, Chevy pill like a nectar. But I keep it. It's more than what they ever played us. Living by put me in the gas. Born in 91, pumping 93. Winter, Chevy pill like a nectar. But I keep it clean. Man, I'm too for real. Comfortable with myself with this fraud. Man, I'm too legit. Off the thermostat, can't hold me back. Trying to check my tip. I had my way, run my plate, really busy. Really in this field. Checking it, check me out when in doubt. I'm gonna make my bread. Never lose niggas. Food is a feast. Just know we all gon' eat. Niggas slick on my shit, pop my shit. My bro said this shit greasy. She don't like the message. I kick wisdom. I'm just rude as feet. Spell my time, but not too much. They feel me. I know talk is cheap. I'm controlling it from a distance. This how it's supposed to be. Give her what she never had. Now she can't get over me. I understand they don't want a man, they just want company. Shorty know I'm all about my gravy, trying to smother me. Get from under me. I ain't have no silver spoon. This shit come from underneath. I play for keeps. I don't see nobody. This shit tunnel deep. I play for keeps. I don't see nobody. This shit tunnel deep. This is more than what they ever played us. Living by put me in a gas. Born in 91, pumping 93. Winter, Chevy pill like a nectar. But I keep it. It's more than what they ever played us. Living by put me in a gas. Chevy feel like a nectar, but I keep it clean though.
I know too.
I ain't finna tell y'all how I got away with this shit.
If I'm more right, that's good business. She look good, but hang with dumb bitches. Tell her I'm way too fly for one sister. And if she leave a priest, I won't miss her. Won't put a ring around it. Oh, no. Bitches for the street like basketball goes. I always knew she'd let that lane hit her. Won't get a cent from me, I ain't simple. Bitch, now I ain't gonna work it out. I ain't regular, now I ain't gonna work it out. I ain't regular, you civilian, nah, failure, I ain't gonna work it out. Cause I ain't regular, I ain't regular, you's a regular, took that bitch back, and she done fed ya. Look how you living out, you look scary out. Can't fuck that bitch right, cause she be getting nailed out. You won't forgive her, ain't it? You wanna love it, don't you? Just know that love ain't for you, it's for the world, homie. I got some real homies, we don't pretend, homie. ISUPK, 1 West, we kicking field goals. Let that bitch lead hoe, she got them D's though. With a little steak and ass pussy, she be going beast mode. She HIV hoe, you a dirty ass skeet hoe. Don't get that shit up out your chest, bitch. Say what you gonna do now, what you gonna say now, what you gonna do to me? It is UPK, I'm shot too deep, it's better Google me. I put these girls all in my training camp like I relieve. I say what I do, not do what I say, bitch, what the fuck you mean? If I'm more right, that's good business. She look good, but hang with dumb bitches. Tell her I'm way too fly for one sister. And if she leave a priest, I won't miss her. Won't put a ring around it. Oh, no. Bitches for the street like basketball goes. I always knew she'd let that lane hit her. Won't get a cent from me, I ain't simple. Bitch, now I ain't gonna work it out. I ain't regular, now I ain't gonna work it out. I ain't regular, you civilian, nah, failure, I ain't gonna work it out. Cause I ain't regular, I get paper, bro. Got my standards up. You a munchkin, catching knees, check my favorite out. I'm a player, these niggas top block, taking lead out. You shouldn't be worried about these broke ass bitches, and don't compare yourself to simp ass niggas. Had to shine a lot of these desperate ass women, cause they be tripping hard, acting like they different. But a bit be basic, bit be horn and bit be naked, faking, stankin', and shame is dirty, mouth bit be faking. I don't get too fucks about you, I wouldn't have put no baby in. Bit be saying they got that paper, look, they let me itch. Done caught the penalty, hit my energy, got me feeling me. Ice hitting on them, these diamond teeth that's into me. And I'm getting right and I'm stacking up and I'm getting to it. And these niggas hate but they can't touch cause I'm bulletproof. If I'm more right, that's good business. She look good but hang with dumb bitches. Tell her I'm way too fly for one sister. And if she leave a piece, I won't miss her. Won't put a ring around it. Oh, no. Bitches for the street like basketball goes. I always knew she'd let that lane hit her. Won't get a cent from me, I ain't simple. Bitch, now I ain't gonna work it out. I ain't regular, now I ain't gonna work it out. I ain't regular, you civilian, nah, failure, I ain't gonna work it out. Cause I ain't regular,
Goddamn, love them AIDS, damn bitch, she love, nigga. Ain't no taking nothing back. Cause I ain't regular,
Alright, this is Rudy Speaks, man. We got Captain Tywar in the building. Yeah. So Cap, man, let us know where you from.
Yeah, I appreciate y'all having me, man, on Rudy Speaks, man. I'll break it down right quick,
Don't forget it. One West in my brain, one West in my heart, one West when I finish, one West when I start. Big Shine, big glow. I be gone till November, let my bitch know. I'm back by the winter, bubbling like Crisco. I need my pockets all swollen like a lymph node. Talking out the side of your neck, get you a slit throat. I stay broke, don't care if I got a million. Looking down on me, I put your brains on the ceiling. Fuck kicking down the door, we bout to demo the building. Fake cats all in these groups, I wonder who ya. Shoot ya off your pulpit, hallelujah. 4-pound gun youngin' down like it's a cougar. On my feet, combat boots, or is it Puma? Words spreading around about me, none of it rumor. All truth, very big facts. Very large caliber on very small gaps. Compact pistols, ladders, and all that. About to throw the switch in the Nina for rapid fire. Got the 5.7 equipped with the magnifier. Boom shakalaka, equipped with the rim rocker. We ain't really got beef, yeah, Ramak would have been shot you. The best rhymer since Pac and Big Papa. Big llama, big juice, I'm Big Jamba. Quarter tank of gas, I ride like a big timer. No informer, no sweat, not in China. My conglomerate wreck like King Kong. No Asian pun me, no chink in armor. Remain calm through our pain that bring drama. Stay focused on things that bring karma. Took all pressure, applied and made diamonds. Stayed true, kept shit pure, my name honored. Paid all dues and debts and kept promise. Make sure you show respect, pay homage. That I'm one West bred, one West vetted, one West pumping through my blood, don't forget it. One West in my brain, one West in my heart. One West when I'm finished, one West when I start. I said I've been one West bred, one West vetted, one West pumping through my blood, don't forget it. One West in my brain, one West in my heart. One West when I'm finished, one West when I start. I'm the hottest on the market, don't make me start it. I'ma pull up in a Spider-Man and Peter Parker. I remember days was trapping out the apartment. Now one West might put me up in a starship. About to fly the friendly skies in this bitch. Spit the truth on the corners, I lie a little bit. I'm a stand-up nigga, I die before I switch. Down, no we up, I'm cool with who I with. I'ma be war the king and stay dangerous. Hold down the biz and fam, remain blameless. Now rappers drippy with styles we made famous. First with studs and spikes in any city. Designing charge a stack for shit that can't fit me. Had friends on my coattail way before Jimmy. Funny how the general ain't even see a penny. Better show respect, get smoked like a chimney. Keep my name out your mouth, don't even think it. Send a real Smith at y'all, no Jada Pinkett. Both ball heads, my grain of $150. Lost my man to the game, that pain, that stuff.
He's work in progress. He got a
getting foul, shooting like a free throw. Keep spitting acid like a Mino, and the nigga be the nicest with a mean flow. Try to ride my wave, you gon' need a speedboat. I'm hot like 100 degrees in a peacoat. Scarf in the sweater, I embark every letter. It's UPK, not a part, but together. I've been one West bred, one West vetted, one West pumping through my blood, don't forget it. One West in my brain, one West in my heart. One West when I'm finished, one West when I start. One West bred, one West vetted, one West pumping through my blood, don't forget it. One West in my brain, one West in my heart. One West when I'm finished, one West.
Pendo, kill the beat.
I don't know who, somebody need to hear this. Y'all speak Hebrew, that's Yiddish. How the fuck you try to label us anti-Semitic? We the Israelites, blacks, native Hispanics. The Germans get locked up for the Holocaust. Meanwhile, black people still up in the Holocaust. 100 million of us died in the transatlantic. 6 million died. I want the world to never forget it. You can never be a Jew. You are Ashkenaz. This ain't a star dum-dum. A gun that would die. Yeah, Easy told the truth and got ostracized. Not one person in the Bible had on the yarmulke.
You ready to rock Harlem? Rock. Yahweh Shem Yahushai Buck Thumb. See at that tape, please have a seat, Akim, through water. Clap it up, Akim. Let's get it on, Warriors. How we looking, Harlemus? How's my background? I seem a little fuzzy right here. Do I need to fix it?
Con, sir, it's a little fuzzy. Do you have your usual setup?
I do, but I think I might have touched something right before we went online. I'm gonna try to get this fixed real fast. Hold on, all right?
Count on Con. We can't hear you if you're talking to us, sir.
Salak Yakim, how about now?
Yes, sir.
Listen, everyone, while I'm fixing my background, get your questions together because tonight we can waste no time. Tonight we're going into conspiracies. Conspiracies that are absolutely true, and because they're true, no one is allowed to know about them. Because they're factual, no one is allowed to even care. We'll go into that in 1 second. Just stand by, all right?
Count on Con, sir.
I got big rain, you mad, get stained, work hard, then play, bad bitch, my taste, we vibe, we lay, you purple, you gay, delete ass, lil' fame, I won't walk, got the same, 4 rounds, 4 rounds, 4 rounds, I try to tell these motherfuckers time and time, 4 rounds, pussy ass, purple ass niggas, man, 4 rounds, make it your born ass right. Niggas better get their weight up, you little body bitch. Worry about a damn pay cut, you little body bitch. I ain't worried about none of these niggas, little body bitch. You that scare rat, cow ass little body bitch. Had to fuck around, get my rank up, you little body bitch. And I'm pouring up, yeah, young nigga, and I'ma take a sip. Yeah. All these niggas want down hate, but tell them zip it lip. And you a dumb ass, scare ass boy, little body bitch. And I ain't worried about nothing, nigga, nah, I ain't worried about shit. I got more than one, so you know nigga don't reminisce. I spit flavors on these damn beats, niggas better catch a pitch. Never knew a goddamn man be scared to represent. But you a whole ass, dirt ass, little damn body ass nigga. Get body with the damn scripture with your little body ass nigga. Nigga, I'm a true priest, true line nigga, true Zion ass nigga. And you a little boy, little bitch ass, little body ass nigga. Big rain, you mad, get stained, work hard, then play. Bad bitch, my taste, we vibe, we lay, you purple, you gay, you leech ass, lil' fame, I won't walk.
How am I looking now, headquarters?
Much better, sir.
All right, can you hear me well?
Yes, sir.
Outstanding. Clap it up then, Akim. Let's get it on. Who are the cams that are in here with us tonight, headquarters?
And it's Salaki, sir, that they still want you to work on the background. It's still a little on your left side.
I see it. All right, hold on. Here I come. Stand by.
Sir. Slow, sir. How about you? Haiti.
Like I say, Yabashem Yashabrakatum.
What's the word? Where you at?
Everything's solid. We're in New Orleans right now.
You're in New Orleans.
God. We close. We're on our way. Outside Christ.
I'm gonna bring everybody up on here. While we wait for the general.
Water, please? If you don't mind, please. Scoop up a show. Yeah, Trump trying to rebrand slavery. Yes, he is.
Yeah.
He trying to bring it back to the 1800s.
And we're gonna get into it all tonight.
Yeah.
We got ISUPK Chicago cookout is approaching. We just finished, with the ISUPK North Carolina. ISUPK cookout for the Chicago is going to be at the end of this month. I don't know if you have the date of Shaya Allah.
And where we got Milwaukee, you with us? You got the What's going on, Milwaukee? You got the Chicago cookout dates. I think it's at the very end of the month.
It's at the end of the month, July 31st to August 3rd. We gonna have it alive. So you better get ready and you better get your things in order because we got it live, though. So
yeah, I hear that. I'm gonna try to actually make it out to this one. I know y'all had that best time ever in Carolina last weekend. You were there.
That's right.
Officer Yadzar, you were down there in Carolina all weekend?
Oh, you know it. You know it. Most High in Christ.
Whoever missed out, y'all missed out. Don't miss the next one.
Matter of fact, I'll let the other zone go in, but I believe Commanding General Yohana is doing a lecture this Saturday. Aisha, you could give the details on that as well.
Okay, I didn't know it was a lecture, but I know that Delaware is opening their new school. The generals are going to be down there. We're going to be down there. So Delaware is opening a brand new school. I'm not sure the details. I don't want to misspeak, but everybody needs to tune in. I know they're hyping it up. It's a big celebration, a new building. Las Vegas has a new building they're opening up as well. Big things are going on. Big things are going on. What's happening? Who else we got with us? We got Trinidad with us, always rocking it out. What's going on, Trinidad?
Yeah, we to Rob Anderson.
How we looking now, Harlem?
Looking much better, sir. It's a little bit on your left.
A little bit. I'm trying to fix it. There you go.
There we go. There we go.
Yeah, it's perfect right there.
All right. Clap it up. Let's get it on, knock him. All right, we're ready to rock.
Yes, sir.
Okay, let's get into who do we have in here tonight. I see Levi, Haiti in the building.
Most High in Christ.
Knock him. Give Haiti a hand. Who else do we have? Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Give Milwaukee a hand. I see it, Milwaukee.
That's right.
Trinidad, give Trinidad a hand.
That's right.
Dallas, Texas, give Dallas a hand. Knock him. Got it, brothers. I see you out there. Hold up, that's Gator Bait. Give Gator Bait down here in Florida. Gator Bait a hand. Well done, brother. Who else do we have up there? Who's that? Where you from? Up top.
Is that Pittsburgh?
Give Pittsburgh a hand. I see you, brother. Good job. I see it's behind you. I missed it. UPK Pittsburgh. All right. And of course, we have Jerusalem, Harlem, New York, holding it down since 1959. Gracias por tu servicio. Ahora aquí mi nombre es General Mahayaman, Servicio a Patruller de la General Yohana. Somos la Escuela Israelita de Conocimiento Práctico Universal. Comenzamos en 1 Oeste Calle 125, Nueva York. Desde 1969, debajo del mando General Yohana. Carnales, esta es la verdad. Si tú eres hombres, españoles, negros o indios nativos, tú eres Israel, el pueblo elegido de Dios. Tu madre y tu padre dicen que somos un culto y mantienen su iglesia sin culpa, pero su iglesia es culpable de todo lo que nos están pensando. Órale. All right, Doctor, we're going to get into it tonight. Haz tu preguntas. Please ask all of your questions. Tonight, we're getting into conspiracies that are not theories. The conspiracies we go into tonight have been researched by Congress. They've been researched by multiple legitimate news sources. They are true. They're not conspiracy theories. They're factual. And because they're factual, no one cares. These things that I'll bring out tonight are not unknown because they haven't been vetted and researched. They're unknown because no one gives a damn. Because the people you would have to hurt to reveal these things are more important than the people who are being hurt by not revealing them. We're going to go into that today, but first, of course, as tu preguntas. Please ask your questions.
Yes, sir. We have a couple of questions in the comments. Michael Wilson asked, Shalom General, when Saul was talking to the women with familiar spirits, did he actually talk to Samuel from the dead?
Absolutely not. What he was talking to was the Most High God. It could not have been Samuel from the dead because Samuel was in a coffin wrapped in a burial shroud when he talked to Samuel, which means it couldn't have been him because Samuel's body was turned to dust, because that's what happens with bodies when they go into the ground. From dust he came and dust he shall return. The decaying process would make Samuel's body gone. But he talked to Samuel. When he spoke to him, he was inside the shroud, inside the coffin, inside the, what's another word for coffin? The other one, not a coffin. What's that thing called?
Sepulcher?
No, the box that you put a dead man in.
A casket.
The casket, yeah. A coffin is shaped like a cross. A casket is not shaped like a cross. I believe that's correct, or vice versa. I believe I'm correct in what I just said. So the coffin, all right, the coffin. So it was not Samuel, it was the Most High God speaking to him. The vision he saw was a vision of Samson, but it was not actually Samson. Everyone understand? I mean, I'm sorry, Samuel, I meant to say Samuel. It was a vision of Samuel, the words of the Most High God, but not actually Samuel, all right? Next.
Any questions in the room? Yes, sir. We have another question in the comments. Officer Alazar says, Shalom, Adawan. If I could, can I get a general breakdown on Ecclesiasticus 39 and 28 through 35?
Absolutely, no problem. Whenever you're ready, sin problema. Let's do it, no problem.
So we're just going to pull that up real quick.
Ecclesiasticus chapter 38, verse 29. Fire and hell and famine and death, all these were created for vengeance.
Mm-hmm.
Verse 30. Teeth of wild beasts and scorpions, serpents and the sword, punishing the wicked to destruction.
Yeah, brother, I'll explain it to you. He wants a general breakdown of this precept, correct? Am I right, Harlem? Harlem, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
You're very low. I can barely hear you. You better now. How am I loud and clear or not? Give me a 1W if I'm loud and clear. All right.
You're perfectly clear, sir.
Okay. He wanted to. I believe he said a general breakdown of this. Correct?
Yes, sir.
All right. Read it one more time up.
Karan Khan, Ecclesiasticus chapter 39, verse 29. Fire and hell and famine and death, all these were created for vengeance.
Now, this is a very important precept to make you understand where God does his punishing. God punishes the wicked. Because of the Christian church, you think that he punishes you in some spiritual realm, that where you go after you die, where your body is on earth in a grave, but your spirit is somewhere burning in hell. This precept should show you that God gives you punishments here on earth that affect your body. Your body is what God gives pain to. God puts your soul in hell by making your body suffer, just like he did with Job. The pain of sickness affects your mind. The torment of the flesh affects your mind. I'll read it one more time and you'll see. And you just tell me where all these things happen. Read it from the top.
Karan Khan, Ecclesiastes, verse 28. There be spirits that are created for vengeance, which in their fury.
I'm sorry, read it from the top. I meant to say read it from the top.
Ecclesiasticus chapter 39, verse 28. there be spirits that are created for vengeance,
Go ahead.
which in their fury lay on sore strokes.
Mm-hmm.
In the time of destruction,
I'm missing something. That's not where we started before. Where's when we started before? We were somewhere else.
So we started in the wrong spot the first time.
Okay, Salaki, my apologies. All right, so go ahead. But this is where the brother's question is, correct?
Yes, sir.
All right. So let me just sum it up for you. These spirits are made for correction. These things that happen to you, they happen to you because God is displeased with your behavior, and he sends these things upon you. And then the Lord will describe what he uses to hurt you, to punish you. Keep going.
Which in their fury lay on sore strokes.
Mm-hmm. When in their fury, when the Most High God is anger, it lays on you sore strokes, meaning terrible beatings, terrible lashes happen with these things, and they come from God. The same way a parent might beat their child, or a wicked slave master might beat a slave, the Most High God beats you with the storm, with the hurricane, with hunger, with sickness, with fire. That's how he corrects his children. That's how he corrects the wicked. Continue.
Khan. In the time of destruction, they poured out their force and appeased the wrath of him that made them.
See, there's all these spirits in the time of destruction. They pour out their force. The time of destruction is your time to pay for what you've done. Your time to pay. That's the time of destruction. You're going to see that on a large scale, on the largest scale in history, when Jesus Christ returns. And through thermonuclear war, right in the middle of World War III, the wicked will be punished with fire. With fire. Continue.
Khan, verse 29. Fire and hell.
Fire and what?
And hell.
Now, what I've never understood about the myth about being punished when you're a ghost or when you're a spirit is, what difference would it make? What difference would fire make to a spirit? If you're a ghost and you don't have any flesh, and you don't have any skin, then why would fire hurt you? What would it do? But I know who fire does hurt. Flesh and blood people. That's who fire hurts. And when the thermonuclear war begins in the middle of World War III is in the beginning of it right now. But soon we'll be right in the middle of World War III, nations upon nations into the valley of decision, and nuclear war will break out when these heathens, the enemies of God, attempt to fight him with their nuclear weapons. Flesh will burn, not a ghost, not a supernatural spirit. You can't burn a ghost. He doesn't have a body, but you absolutely can burn people. Keep going.
And famine and death.
And what in death?
And famine
See
and
this?
death.
Famine. What is famine? The lack of food. If we're punished in hell in some spiritual realm after we die, why do we need food? Why would famine affect you in hell? Why would it matter whether or not you had food? A ghost doesn't need food, you idiot, you Christian. But people need food. People are starving. Look over there in Palestine right now. 4 million children dying of starvation. You can't starve a ghost, but you can starve a child. You can starve a child. That's destruction. Continue.
Khan. All these were created for vengeance.
You see this? Hunger, fire, thirst, famine. These things were created for vengeance because the Most High God brings these things upon a person or a people to teach them that they are in error when it comes to his law. They are in error when it comes to his will. And you should listen to them. You should have listened to these things. Keep going.
Khan, verse 30. Teeth of wild beasts.
Here we go again. Teeth of wild beasts. So if you're punished after you die, when you're a ghost, why would it matter if police dogs bite you? Why would it matter if the alligators at Alligator Alcatraz bite your flesh? or when you're thrown into a Roman Colosseum to fight lions and bears. Why would that matter unless you're a human and you're alive? The living feel the teeth of beasts, not a dead person. A dead person doesn't have a body to be bitten by a dog or an alligator. These punishments happen while you are in the flesh, while you are alive. God punishes the living, not the dead. The Bible says that death is the rest from punishment, the rest from torment. That time when you go before the Lord to get your judgment, that's your day of peace. But when you come back, it's time to suffer again if you didn't learn your lesson the last time. That's the Bible. Is there anything else?
Sir. And scorpions, serpents, and the sword.
Here we go. Are there scorpions in hell, on this imaginary Christian hell? This imaginary Greek and Roman hell that the Christians adopted? There are scorpions there? What the hell? Why are they in hell? What did they do to go to hell? Scorpion. But I know there are plenty of scorpions here on earth, a whole ton of them, biting your flesh as you're in a desert, dying from lack of water, and scorpions come and bite you. Hell is on earth. Hell is here on earth. And blacks and Hispanics, we are in hell. Now, the job of Commanding General Yohana and the Israelite School of UPK is to create revolution. So we will cease to be in hell. We will be in a heavenly state. Where is heaven? On earth. But our oppressor will now go to hell. Now he will starve. Now he will be in thirst. Now he will be bitten by alligators. That's revolution. All these things happen on earth. That's what this precept is hopefully trying to educate you in. Is there anything else?
Sir.
Go ahead.
Punishing the wicked to destruction.
You hear that? It says punishment, right? Your whole life you thought that you died and went to hell to be punished. You're going to go to hell. You're in hell. You're in hell right now. That's why they're building a concentration camp designed for alligators to eat you in Florida. You're in hell. That's why whether you wear a suit and a tie or whether or not you are a radical with a hoodie on and your pants sagging, you both get killed by the cops. Let me show you. Look, give me the video I sent you. I show you all of the IUIC speaking to young black men, telling them how it's their fault that the police beat them up. I sent it to you today. Are you familiar with what I'm talking about?
Unfortunately, yes, sir.
Some people don't know that hell is on earth. When you see this video, you'll know that black people are in hell. Well, if we work hard enough, we'll put white people in hell, and we will be in heaven. See, right now, white people are in heaven. When you see this video, you're going to know who is in heaven and who is in hell, or else you'll find out when the alligators are eating you. And you'll realize that, and you haven't even been to court. Do you know that the Donald Trump administration says that they want to suspend habeas corpus, which means you don't have to go see a judge. You're not forced to be brought in front of a judge. You don't need any process to be put in this alligator Alcatraz. They'll suspend the court system because you're undocumented. And now you haven't even seen a judge, and you are being eaten by alligators. You're in hell. And the people that create a concentration camp in 2025, they are in heaven. Whenever you have it, please put it up on the screen. Now listen closely, Akim. I'm going to tell you to stop at certain places. I'll play it all the way through the first time. Please go.
Young girls how to avoid people like you. Yeah, I said it. They looking for husbands. Husbands don't walk around like that. I can't tell if you got anything on you or not. And the police can't either. That's why when they get you, they rough you up. Because they don't know if you're a good kid or a bad kid. Why? Because you're trying to dress like these damn rappers. Bring it out. You need to dress like you got some sense. It's hot outside. Why the hell you got on a hoodie and a toboggan with your face covered? You got to ask yourself this. When the police see you, they need to see your identity. They need to know who you are when they see you. If they don't know who you are when they see you, and you got your hands in your pocket looking like a YN, they treat you like a YN, and then get found out you 14, now you crying for your mama and juvenile. Because you resisted. See what I'm saying? We got to change how we want people to look at us. That's what I'm telling these sisters. We got to be.
This is a coon from the 1920s, Yes,
sir.
This is a 1920s step and fetch it coon. Do you know what this coon just said? This coon just said that it's your fault if you're walking around with your hands in your pockets. And a cop has to rough you up. A cop has to see your face. If he doesn't see your face, then he's going to beat you up. It's your fault because you had your hands in your pockets. Is it illegal to put me full screen next to him? Next to half screen, next to this coon. Is it illegal to put your hands in your pockets? Is that a crime? Is it a crime to wear a toboggan, whatever the hell that is? Is it a crime to wear a face mask? I think they sell them in the store. Is it a crime to wear a hoodie? This coon is blaming you, saying that the police, they don't even know if you got anything. They don't even know if you have anything. So I have to walk around all day showing my midsection, making sure a cop can see that I have no weapon and I better not have my hands in my pockets ever. What in the fuck are pockets for? Why are they on clothing? So a pocket is going to get me shot by a cop? We are in hell. We're going to get killed because we had our hands in our pockets or because we have a hoodie, and we are to blame for it. We're to blame. And a country that has freedoms that are lauded all over the planet, the land of the free, we can't put our hands in our pockets. We have to make sure that every police officer sees our face. They have to see our face when we're walking down the block. A purple pig. You know they shot Martin Luther King, you purple faggot. You know they killed him. You know, he didn't wear a hoodie. Martin Luther King Jr. wore a suit and a tie and preached nonviolence. And he was shot. Do you know they shot Malcolm X? Malcolm X was also killed, who was against nonviolence. And he's dead too. What in the fuck difference does it make whether or not you're violent or nonviolent? Wear a hoodie, don't wear a hoodie. They burned 3 little girls alive in a church in Mississippi. They stuck dogs and German shepherds on college students who were trying to eat at a lunch counter. The cops, 5 members of Omega Psi Phi fraternity who wore badges, and I believe it was Memphis, murdered a young man driving with autism while he was screaming for the name of his mother. What difference does it make whether or not you put your hands in your pockets, whether you wear a suit and a tie? You could be Martin Luther King and they're still going to kill you. But where does this thinking come from? We're in hell. So we don't even have the right to blame our oppressor when he murders us. We have to think of a way not to get killed. Listen, send this to the IUIC. IUIC, please, if you have discovered the way that a cop will not kill you, please tell me. Send it to me directly on the video, because I've been looking for this for years. My father was looking for this. My grandfather was looking for this. My great-grandfather was trying to find out what is the pattern, what is the solution, what is the diagram on who I have to be so that a cop will not shoot me. Because when I wore a suit and a tie, they sucked dogs on me and fire hoses and killed me. When I go to church every Sunday, they burn down the church. So if you have the plan, IUIC, I'm listening, because I have sons and I don't want them to die. So tell me, is it that I wear a suit and a tie? Damn it, that don't work, because they killed the civil rights leaders and they killed the brothers doing civil rights and they killed Martin Luther King. Do I have to be peaceful and nonviolent? Shit, that ain't gonna work either, because they killed Martin Luther King that believed in complete nonviolence. They killed the Black Panthers. They killed Malcolm X. They killed children. They kill you when you're 6 years old. They kill you when you have your driver's license. They kill you whether you don't have a gun. They kill you if you are a licensed gun carrier. Fernando Castillo. So if the IUIC has the solution, that's if you have the way that something we can do as Black people that will make pigs like you not kill us, I am more than willing to listen. As far as I can tell, we are in hell. And there's nothing you can do. We need God's protection from this monster, from this villain. The only solution for villains are heroes, brother. And we're going to have to become heroes because the white man is a villain. I want revolution. I'm going to put him in an Alcatraz. Right. I'm going to put him to the alligators. I'm going to feed him to the lions and bears in the Coliseum. I'm going to take away his right to put his hands in his pockets or to wear hoodies. And the only way I can do that is if I give up drug addiction, if I give up cigarettes, if I give up crime. That's the only way God will stand with me and take me out of hell and put me in heaven and put my enemy in hell. That's the only solution I can see. Maybe the purple pigs have a different one. I'm listening. I'm listening, you coon. You step and fetch it, coon. Also, idiot, if you are Black and if you are young, you are a young nigger. Every young brother is a YN. Every last one. If you go to college, the police still consider you a young nigger. If you're driving a car and you're screaming for your mother, the police consider you a young nigger. Are you young? Are you a nigger? Then you're a YN. You're a YN whether you have your hands in your pockets or not. You're a YN if you go to college, they're going to kill you. If you drop out of college, they're going to kill you. If you have your hands in or out your pockets, they're going to kill you because every young Black boy is a YN to a cop. If you can prove me wrong, I'd love to hear it because I have sons that I would hope might be able to stay alive when they run into a corrupt purple pig like you. Is there anything else?
Nah, so did you want me to finish the video?
I think we're done.
Come on.
Go ahead.
Pittsburgh has a question.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, if I could, sir, real quick. Brother with the question on Saul asked for a little clarification. He asked, when you say Saul was talking to the Most High, was it an angel or a demon talking to the woman and he heard her, or did he hear a voice?
It's an angel. He saw a vision of an angel. But an angel was speaking to the Lord, but it looked like Samuel. It looked like him. But it cannot be Samuel in his grave because Samuel is not in his grave. That's in the Bible. Okay, that's in the Bible. They're not in their graves anymore. That's in the New Testament. They're not there anymore. Everybody understands?
Yes, sir.
Right? God is, I'll give you the precept if you need it. God is not the God of the dead, but of the living. Our forefathers are alive. They're not dead. Samuel is alive. He's not in the coffin. He's not there anymore. That's in the New Testament. Jesus Christ said, our God is not the God of the dead, but of the living. Why do I tell you that you were baptized, that you say you were baptized unto the dead. But God is not the God of the dead, but of the living. Samuel's alive. He's not in a grave, sitting there waiting to talk to somebody for 1,000 years. He's not there anymore. His body is turned to dust, and the man is back again. So what he saw was a vision that looked like Samuel, a vision. Everybody understands.
Yes, sir.
Pittsburgh, man, let's hear from you, brother. Good to see you, Ak.
Shalom, Yabashim Brakatah, General.
Good to see you, warrior. What can I do for you?
If I could, with your great wisdom, my Lord, can I get a breakdown on Deuteronomy 21, 16, and 17?
Deuteronomy 21, 16, and 17. Anything in specific?
Con and one con. The part where it's talking about double portion, and is a second part to that. If the son is a wicked or a sinner, is it still relevant?
Okay. The part about double portion and if the son is wicked or a sinner, is it still relevant? Let's read it.
Con and one con. This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 21 and verse 16. Then it shall be, when he maketh his sons to inherit that which he hath, that he may not make the son of the beloved firstborn before the son of the hated, which is indeed the firstborn.
Can I break that one down for you? This is speaking about a brother who has two wives, right? And he loves one and hates the other, which is unfortunately common. Where a brother has three wives, one wife might just, know how to treat you. She might be more kind. She might have had less traumas. She might just have less demons or no demons. Right. So because of that, you treat the child you have with her better than you treat the child that you have with the one who you don't like. Even though the child of the one that you don't like is the firstborn son. But you don't want to treat him like the firstborn son because you can't stand his mother. You get the point. Can't do that. According to the Bible, the same way in America, who is the heir to everything you own when you die in America? Do you know?
Is it the woman, sir?
It's your wife. If you are married legally with a woman, she could be the evilest bitch that the Lord ever did let breathe. She is still going to get all your money and when you die, because you signed a piece of paper, in essence, making her your heir, which is really what a marriage certificate does. It doesn't mean you are joined to her according to God. Paper can't do that, but paper can set up a legal arrangement. So if you have a marriage license, you have just established who is your legal heir. You could have 25 sons. Your sons are getting nothing.
Right.
Everything you own is going to the wife. That's America. It's American law. Now in Israel, without paper, if you have a firstborn son, when you die, he is the heir to everything you have. There's no need for paperwork. There's no contract. Did he have a son? Yes. Who's his oldest son? And that is his heir. And so this law is making sure that the priests know, even if this man wanted his second-born son to be his heir because he preferred her mother, that is unlawful. It would not be legal in our land to make the son of the wife who you like more to be your heir above your actual firstborn son from the woman that you don't like. That's the point. Does it matter if the who's wicked? You said if the son is wicked, right?
Salakia, sir, the double portion part, and if the son is wicked.
Yeah, if the son is wicked, then you can switch who's the heir.
Okay,
based on what he did. How do you know that? Because Israel did that. Jacob did that. Jacob's firstborn son was Reuben. Reuben, the father of the chosen people of God, the Seminole Indians down there in Florida. That was the firstborn son of Jacob, of Israel. Their symbol or their sigil is the horse, the steed or the stallion. That's the firstborn son of Israel. They're the chosen people of God. But because they committed a transgression against their father, he switched it from Reuben to Judah. That's how Judah became the firstborn. Judah became the heir, which means he received the inheritance due to a firstborn, though he was not the firstborn. So the son can lose his inheritance, but a son can't lose it because you don't like my mother.
Right.
He can't lose it because of that. You understand? Like all your wives, love them all or don't get any. That's all. There's something good in all them broads that you done had sex with. There's a good thing. There's salvage it. Find a way. Find a silver lining in that tail. There's a silver lining in that tail. Find it and don't make the kids suffer because you don't like the mother. That's the point. Right? Is there anything else?
On the board, sir. The water.
You done? No problem, Pittsburgh. Good to see you. Anything else?
Yes, sir. Brother asked for a breakdown. ISUPK Sacramento asked, Shalom, sir. Can I get a breakdown on Philippians 2:6, Baba Gashah? That's a verse that Christians use, saying that Jesus is God.
All right, let's go ahead and read it.
Philippians chapter 2, verse 6. Who, being in the form of God, thought it not robbery to be equal with God.
Say it one more time, Warrior.
Philippians chapter 2, verse 6. Who, being in the form of God, thought it not robbery to be equal with God.
Okay, let's read 2 verses above it.
Khan, verse 4. Look not every man on his own things, but every man also on the things of others.
Look not every man on his own things, but look every man on the things of others. This is telling us how we have to behave. This is for us. We can't look at ourselves and what we need. We have to care about what other brothers need, right? That's the first thing you need to understand this precept. This is not about teaching you whether or not Jesus is God. This is about teaching you that you can represent God today. That's the point. Look not every man on your own self, but think about what other brothers need. Continue.
Verse 5. Let this mind be in you.
Read that again.
Let this mind be in you.
Let this mind be in Jesus.
Let this mind be in you.
This is how Jesus should think, because Jesus is God.
Let this mind be in you.
You see, you Christians, you read the Bible trying to enforce your Roman Catholic doctrine, and you miss the point. You miss the whole purpose of the thing. This precept is not about whether or not Jesus is God. This precept is about you representing God. Let this mind be in you. So we're about to read something that I'm supposed to think like. I'm supposed to be like this. I'm supposed to think this way. Continue.
Khan, which was also in Christ Jesus.
What? God wants me to think the same way Jesus Christ thinks. So I have to think like this. This is exactly how Jesus Christ thought. So I can be like him. I can have the same mind that this man had. No problem. I'll do it. I'll do it. I get the point. Continue.
Khan, verse 6. Who, being in the form of God.
Bobbity. Him being in the form of God. Remember, I have to do this. I have to think like this. Him being in the form of God. Go ahead.
Thought it not robbery to be equal with God.
Am I God? Am I immaculately conceived? Because I have to think like this. This is what I have to do. I have to think like this. I'm in the form of God. Now, what does it mean to be in the form of God? You know what it means to be in the form of God? I behave like God. I behave like him. I'm built like him. I'm like him. I have the reputation that he wants me to have. When the Bible says Jesus Christ was in the form of God, it doesn't mean that he and God were somehow a two-headed or three-headed man. What it meant was this brother behaved in a way that pleased God. God was pleased by his behavior. What God believed, he believed. What God wanted, he wanted. What God told him to do, he did. Because he was in the form of God, he didn't think it was robbery to be equal with God. I have to think the same way. So if I'm not God, then neither was he. And neither was he, because I have to think just like him. So if I'm obeying the Bible, if I'm obeying the laws, if I'm pleasing God, then I will not think it's wrong to be equal with God. How did Jesus Christ demonstrate that he was equal with God? He told lepers and sinners and whores, go and sin no more. Thy sins be forgiven. Jesus Christ forgave sins. They wanted to stone him over that. Why? Who can tell me the reason? If you can answer this, I'll be impressed. Why they now? I'm not giving you the precept. If I have to, I will. They wanted to kill Jesus Christ because he said, thy sins are forgiven. The Pharisees said, who is this man that he can forgive sins? Who is he? He wasn't from the tribe of Levi, the chosen people of God, the Haitians. He wasn't the high priest. They gave no lamb, no turtle dove. They made no sacrifice. This man forgiveth sins. They wanted to kill him. He didn't think it was wrong. He thought it was no big deal because he wasn't an adulterer. He wasn't a sinner. Jesus Christ told the men a woman was caught in the act of adultery, the very act. They saw the man tearing her tail up, and it wasn't her husband. The man is not mentioned, which I always believe they killed him already. I can't prove that, but I can ask Commandant General Yohana. He'll know. Well, the woman was sitting there, and they said, well, Rabbi, teacher, in a sarcastic way, this woman was caught in the very act of adultery. What should we do with her? They wanted him to say, she's forgiven. Let her go. Because that was the rumor about him, that he forgave sins. And the minute he said that, they would have biblical authority to kill him alongside her for dishonoring the law of Moses. Instead, him being the best battler that has ever lived. I mean, this cat here, Jesus Christ, Doc, he was ice cold. He was the best at the thing that we try to do on the street. We're trying to be like him. Instead of saying, she's free, let her go. Her sins are forgiven. He said, let him that is without sin cast the first stone. He didn't say not to kill her. He said, kill her. But whoever has never committed adultery, you throw the first stone. You kill her first. Problem. Sin problema. They all dropped their stones. Do you know why they dropped their stones, young brothers? Because all of them had slept with another man's wife. All of them. And they were cut to their soul. Cut to their soul. He found the hypocrisy in his adversary. They dropped their stones. And then when the woman looked up, remember, she's on the ground praying because she thinks she's going to be killed. When she looks up, she sees that everyone is gone. And he tells her, woman, where are thou accusers? And she says, they have all left, my Lord. And then he said this, and I will not accuse thee either. He could have stoned her because he was the man there who was without sin, but he didn't. He forgave her sin. And he said, woman, go and sin no more. He didn't tell her, keep being a whore. Keep being an adulterer. I'm about to die so you can keep fucking. He didn't say that. He said, go and sin no more. He forgave her sins. He didn't think it was wrong. He didn't think it was robbery, and neither do we. So now we're going to go into the ghettos, the barrios, the reservations, and we're going to tell drug addicts, dope fiends, murderers, liars, killers. We're going to tell them, go and sin no more. And they're going to change. And they're not going to be put in prison. They're not going to jail. They're not getting deported. They're not getting deported. They're coming home with us. They're going to be with us. And we're going to forgive them for their crimes in the past. And we're going to turn them into men who forgive other men of their crimes that they committed in the past. And we don't think it's robbery because this was in the mind of Jesus Christ. Everyone understands.
Sir.
Did you hear anything I said? Probably not, but I'm done. All right. Was that it?
The water, sir. Yes, sir.
All right, anything else?
There's a question in the comments. Sister asked Shalom, Yahal Shemar, Thumba Shem Shai, the water for your time, sir. My question is, when is it okay for parents to punch their sons in the chest? What age and for what reasons?
Well, okay, you got to have some to punch your son in the chest. This goes along with any corporal punishment. Okay, with any physical punishment, beating your child with a ruler or a belt, anything that is legal to physically punish your child. Here's the important part that you need. You have to not be a psychopath. Now, if you are a psychopath, you should never do it because you're insane. So you shouldn't hit any child because you don't have the self-control to measure the physical punishment. You know, you're just drunk and angry and upset because you worked all day. A lot, and that's why most women are very bad at being disciplinarians, because either a woman will never discipline a child, or she'll discipline a child because she's angry that the father didn't call her. She's angry that the father didn't come home. She's angry that her job is getting on her nerves, or she didn't get any sleep today, or she's so tired. And so she, in essence, will beat the child to vent her own frustration. Bitch, go to the gym. Go exercise. Go take your fat ass down there to the park and walk. But don't beat your child as a way to vent frustration. Don't do that, because you're not going to be able to do it in a measured and disciplined way. Many people, they yell at you not to correct you, but they yell at you because it feels good for them. Many people hit you physically, not to correct the child, but they're doing it because it makes them feel good about failings in themselves. Have you had a drunk father before? A drunk father. I sent Ephraim a video months ago about black women talking about in the 70s. And black women were doing a round table where they were just talking about black men. This video was made in 1972. And they were saying, don't catch hell from the white man at work and then come home and take it out on us. Because black women in the 70s were getting beat by black men who were catching hell working down there at Ford, working at Chrysler, working at the Pepsi plant or the Coca-Cola plant, working on the printing press. And the white man was treating them like animals every day, treating them like garbage. And they would go home to a black woman and beat her after a few brews, after getting drunk at the bar. Then they'd come home and then they would abuse their wife because they felt abused at their job. That's not a man who's trying to correct his wife because she didn't have dinner done on time, or because she had too much mouth, or because she bought something she wasn't supposed to. That has nothing to do with the reason he's hitting you. He's hitting you because it makes him feel better about the abuse he's taking at work. Well, some of you stupid parents out there, you're punching this child in the chest, not because you think this will correct him and let him see that he's being out of place. You're doing it because you need to punch something. Go to the gym. Go do some push-ups. And let a good parent physically discipline your child. Let me handle that child because you're a terrible parent anyway. Just call me and I'll do what I need to do for the child. I'll help you out with the raising of your child. That way child services doesn't have to embarrass this school because you're punching your child because it makes you feel good, not because it helps the child. Is there a time that you could hit him in the chest to make him understand that he's wrong? Yes. Is there a way to do it that is appropriate? Yes. Are you the one that can do it? We'll have to see. We'll have to see. All right. Anything else?
So there's a quick question. Brother asks, Lock your Adawan, if I could, with your grace, Baba Shah. Is Isaiah 47:9 a good precept for the Edomites that the Lord unalived in the recent floods?
Let's hear it, warrior. Let's get Ted Cruz up on the screen next. Go ahead.
Isaiah chapter 47, verse 9. But these two things shall come to thee in a moment and one day, the loss of children and widowhood.
Yeah, this is one of the many precepts you can use. you should also use some precepts that speak about because thou hast not hated blood, blood shall pursue thee. That's the perfect precept for what happened down there at Camp Majestic. Captain Kahan out there in Mississippi, he sent me excellent videos about Camp Majestic. Let's go into this for a second. Camp Majestic, brother, was a place where rich white people in Texas would send their children for Christian retreats, for Christian revivals and camps. This place was for the elite in Texas. Ted Cruz is going to tell you how he sent his own children there. This is where his daughters go. They just so happen not to be there this weekend. The owner of the Kansas City Chiefs, he lost his daughter. His daughter is dead because his daughter was one of the children taken away by the flood at Camp Mystic. This is a camp for the rich elite in Texas. And the mourning is great and the sadness is great because anytime a person loses their child, it's a terrible thing. You see, the problem with rich white people, however, is you don't honor anyone else's humanity but your own. You don't think that anyone else has feelings. You don't think that we mourn our children. You think we're animals. You know how you can go down to the pound and a baby dog, a dog has puppies, and you can just take a puppy from the mother dog. No one ever thinks like, well, damn, we shouldn't take that puppy from the mother dog. No one thinks that. You just take the puppy from the mother and you take it to your house because it's a dog. You don't believe that the dog will miss its puppies because it's an animal. The sad truth about rich white people is they think that we're animals. So they don't think that we miss our children when the police kill them. They don't think we miss our children when you rip them out of our arms, when you're deporting the mother. You don't think we care. The only way for you to understand the loss of children is for you to lose your children. And regrettably, that's the only thing that works. And it's not something that we can do as men because that would be unlawful. But the Most High God is just. And he stands on the side of the poor and innocent against the wicked, ravenous behavior of evil men. This is the story of Camp Mystic. I'll show you. Please play the video.
Texas is grieving right now. The pain, the shock of what has transpired these last few days has broken the heart of our state. As of yesterday, the confirmed death toll was 82, and those numbers are continuing to go up. The children, the little girls who were lost at Camp Mystic, that's every parent's nightmare. Every mom and dad. Last week, we were picking up our daughter from camp here in Hunt. Our girls have gone to camp here for a decade. The Hill Country is an incredible part of Texas, part of the country. The natural beauty here is incredible. The camps that have raised generations of little girls and little boys and instilled character and love and faith are extraordinary institutions. And I'll tell you, the pain in our state, and it's every part of the state. You've got Texans from all over the state who were here celebrating the 4th of July. A week ago, this was a time of great celebration. You're dropping your little girl off at camp, your little boy off at camp. You're celebrating Independence Day. You know that your child is going to be swimming and canoes and horseback riding and doing archery and making lifetime friends. And then suddenly it turns to tragedy. For the last several days, I've spoken to multiple parents, scared out of their mind. Do you know anything? Where is my daughter? There's still 10 girls and one counselor from Camp Mystic that are unaccounted for. And the pain and agony of not knowing your child's whereabouts It's the worst thing imaginable.
Ted Cruz, we're suffering in Los Angeles. We're suffering. We're in pain. We're in pain in Los Angeles. Donde está Mahaya? Where is my daughter? Where is she? We're suffering in Los Angeles. We're in pain because it is every parent's worst nightmare is to lose their daughter. Every parent's worst nightmare. Where is she at? We don't know where she is. We're suffering. It is every parent's worst nightmare not to know where their daughter is. We're suffering in Los Angeles. We're suffering in California. We're suffering in Sacramento. We're suffering. We don't know where our daughters are. We don't know where they are. It's every parent's worst nightmare. Does Camp Mystic make you understand what you've done to our brothers and sisters? Where are our daughters? Where are they? Maybe this will help. Maybe this will in some way make you understand what parents feel like when you rip their children out of their arms. We were on a day celebrating the 5th grade graduation, the elementary school graduation. We were celebrating. It was a happy day, much like you were happy on the 4th of July. We were happy because it was our grade school graduation. And then a flood of ICE agents came and took away our child, ripped the child off our hands on such a happy occasion. Where is my daughter? Where is she? You're doing something to us that is the worst nightmare of any parent. Because you have not hated blood, blood shall pursue you. These are the people that voted Donald Trump in office, even though he was a 34-count felon. He was a sexual deviant, a friend of Jeffrey Epstein, dancing with him on a video. They still voted him into office, even though he inspired people to break into the Capitol and defecate on the desk of Congress people. They still voted him into office for one reason and one reason only. He would fulfill their hatred of Mexicans, their hatred of Haitians, their hatred of Venezuelans. Well, he also is an incompetent manager of this government. And your children are dead because of the choices you made. I know what that's like. I'm Black and Hispanic. I know that children die in my community because we choose to be Christians, and we choose to be criminals, and we choose to do drugs. I know what it's like for your choices to have consequences. Well, Camp Mystic is a consequence of you letting your hatred for Hispanics supersede your love for America. I pray you understand. Brother, how do I say daughter in Hebrew? Aya. Say that word for me. The brother in the front from Zabalawan in headquarters.
Brother Simeonite.
Simeon, sir.
Simeon, I'm sorry, Simeon. What is daughter again?
Hija.
Hija. Donde está mi hija? Correct?
Con, sir.
Donde está mi hija? Donde está mi hija?
Slacking, sir. Also, you could say nieta.
Go ahead, brother.
You could say nieta also.
Nieta. Say the whole thing.
Mi nieta.
Donde está mi nieta?
Mi nieta.
Say that last nieta. Say that.
Nieta.
Nieta.
With an N.
Mi nieta.
Con, sir.
Okay. Donde está mi nieta? What was the other one? The other one was what?
Hija.
Yeah, I'm going to say that one if it's all right. Donde está mi hija? Donde está mi hija? All right. All right. Any other questions?
I think it would be a good time to keep going into your topic, sir.
Well, let's keep going into it, Ephraim. No problem. What do we have? Let's go into some conspiracies, if you don't mind. Let's go into the first conspiracy of the day. Ooh, this week I went and found out everything I could learn about the Jeffrey Epstein conspiracy. Let me try to explain. Give me that Ephraim. Give me that Edomite woman. Hey, give me some help in here with this camera. Give me the Edomite woman. No, I'm sorry. Let's go into the Jeffrey Epstein conspiracy. This week was an amazing thing. Jeffrey Epstein, for those of you that don't know, Ephraim, do you have a video that might explain it clearer?
Yes, sir. This one right here.
A former Israeli intelligence agent, Ari Ben Menashe, came forward years ago and said that Jeffrey Epstein was running a CIA Mossad honeypot with Ghislaine doing recruitment for that honeypot. Ghislaine Maxwell's father is Robert Maxwell, a well-known Mossad agent. Robert Maxwell actually purchased Macmillan textbooks back in like the 70s and 80s. He bought other textbook companies as well within America. Robert Maxwell had a business partner named.
It's like,
go ahead, Warrior.
I was learning things through all these videos you were sending me. I didn't even know that he was actually the first investigation on him was like 20 years ago.
Oh, listen, this cat out has been accused of this for 20 years. For 20 years, everyone has been accusing Jeffrey Epstein of sexually assaulting children. Try that light over there. It's some little thing on the screen. He's made it worse. Cut it back on. He's been accused of this for 20 years, brother. And he kept having parties. He kept doing it. And everyone knew because he had friends in high places. Ghislaine Maxwell was the woman. And these pedophiles, they always get a woman that can go in there and find the girls because the girls will trust the woman. And R. Kelly had someone like this. Michael Jackson had somebody in there also that could go find these kids out. Y'all know Michael Jackson was another pedophile, right? Am I blowing your mind with that? Let me see the room. Let me see the brothers in the room. Did you know that Michael Jackson was a pedophile? Did you know Mike Tyson was a rapist? Does everyone know about Mike Tyson being a rapist? You're aware of that, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, Mike Tyson is a convicted rapist. Convicted. Michael Jackson has been sued countless times for sexually assaulting little boys. Do you know the little boy from Home Alone? Little boy, Michael Jackson had sex with that little boy from Home Alone. How do I know? Because the boy tried to sue him over it. Suing him over it. Michael Jackson gave out millions of dollars to all of these kids that he would go molest. Now we have Jeffrey Epstein. Jeffrey Epstein has an island somewhere, I think in Florida, or off the coast of the Bahamas in Florida. Say again? He had one. He would take children there, little girls. He'd take little underage girls there, take them on a plane over there, fly them on the plane, fly them to this island. When you went into the house on the island, there was an underground place. You go deep underground. And there he would rape and molest people's children. And he would bring them there on a plane. The flight logs of the plane exist. The government says they will not release the videos of who actually was on the island or the videos. Why did I say video? Because this place was completely videotaped. He has videos of everyone that went there. Why? Because secretly the Israeli government was working with him to find evidence on people so that they could control celebrities and politicians to force them to always support the Israeli government. If you've ever wondered why, no matter what, American congressmen, senators, politicians, celebrities always support the Israeli government, no matter how much genocide they commit, it's because they have videos of them on Epstein Island. Give me the United States Congresswoman that said America is the greatest country except for Israel.
Spilling.
See that one? Listen,
Sure, I'll pull that up.
this woman said, America is the greatest country on earth, except for Israel. Israel is greater than America. That's what an American congresswoman said. You wonder why they support Israel so much, because there are hours and hours of 20 years of videos of Bill Clinton, Donald Trump. Matter of fact, let's get the flight logs out, because I remember this is not about. Wait, show me the woman saying that first, and then show me the congresswoman first. Then give me the flight logs, because this is the plane. This is not a theory. This is who was on the plane that went to Epstein's Island. This is released already. How's the video look? It looks a little jammed up to me. Should I fix it, Ephraim?
Everything looks too wild.
All right. Go ahead. Check this out. Hold up, House of Hob. Where are you at?
Everything looks too wild.
House of Hob, you want to say something?
Hey, shut up, sir. Can't hear me, sir?
I see you over there. Where you at? In the Brave? You down there in Atlanta?
Yes, sir. Can you hear me, sir?
I hear you perfect, Benjamin. What's going on?
Oh, there's a delay.
That's normal.
Salakis, if I may.
Go ahead, Warrior.
Rocco, that's a question, sir. I have a question in Judith, chapter 5 and 23.
Go ahead. Just go ask your question, Hazahab. Go ahead.
Carl, sir, I'll ask my question right now, sir. The question I had was, why did they want to murder the man in Achior? No, the man named Achior. Why did they want to unalive him? After he broke down the key behind Israel's strength and weakness to the Lord, sir.
Okay, is this the one with Judith and this was like a Moabite or Ammonite?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, for time's sake, let me just tell you, they wanted to murder him because he was daring to say that the Assyrians could not win if God was on their side. So they wanted to kill him for that. You get my point? Meaning, for everyone, this is when the Assyrian Empire was going to conquer Judah. And a Moabite who had already, I'm sorry, it might have been an Ammonite. The Ammonites in the Bible are the so-called Japanese. So this Japanese king had already been conquered by the Assyrians. So now he works for the Assyrians because his people have already been conquered. So now he's part of the Assyrian Empire to go conquer other kingdoms. But now they come against the kingdom of Israel. Not the Israelis today, but the true Israelites, blacks and Hispanics. So he was in the war meeting, the war council. And he said, I'm telling you because I live around them. Remember, Ammon is on the border of Israel.
Right.
You look at the map, Ammon and Moab are on the border of the land of Israel. He said, listen, Assyrian prince, I live around these people. I fought them in the past. If they have any sin that they commit, then the Assyrians will win. We will win. If they please their God, do not come against them because they're impossible. They are impossible to defeat if God is on their side.
Right.
They heard this. They said, I'm going to dump you over the gate in Israel and we're going to kill you and kill them. They were insulted, Hazahah, by the thought, by the mere thought that anything could stop the Assyrian army. It insulted them. It broke their morale to hear such words. What happened that day? A good woman, a good sister named Judith cut the head off of the Syrian prince, not using strength, not using muscle, but using her feminine guile.
Right.
After that, we knew what we could do. And we killed those Assyrians that day, and that Ammonite Prince lived. You understand?
Sir.
That's the reason that they wanted to kill him. Is there anything else? Check this out. If you now, before I play this once again, Hazahab,
Yes, sir.
you wonder for years, why does the United States support the country of Israel no matter what? It's because Jeffrey Epstein has videos of senators, princes, congressmen, billionaires having sex with children. And because of that, they cannot come against the land of Israel. Or else you explain this. Go ahead and play it.
Next to Israel. And in the greatest country on earth, next to Israel. It is, it's an honor to be able to make a difference and to be able to speak in this regard.
Again, otra vez.
And in the greatest country on earth, next to Israel.
Otra vez.
And in the greatest country on earth, next to Israel. Country on earth, next to Israel. And in the greatest country on earth, next to Israel. And in the greatest country on earth, next to Israel.
Ya basta. Ya basta. Stop. Can you? This is a United States Congresswoman. She just said, and in the greatest country on earth, next to Israel.
It's like, sir.
Go ahead,
State Department spokeswoman.
Woo. This woman is the spokesperson for the State Department of America. She said, and in the greatest country on earth, next to Israel. I don't want anyone to think that I'm saying any country is greater than Israel. Why? Why is she doing that? I'll tell you why. And it's not a theory, because Mossad is the Israeli CIA. I wish I had Commanding General Yohanna. He knows a ton more about this than I do. If he wants to come in, someone can call him on it if he would like. He's doing a lecture down there in Chicago. He's doing a lecture in a couple of weeks in Chicago. Also, before I forget, get down there in Chicago and reserve your rooms for the Chicago cookout. You got to reserve your room. If you don't reserve this room soon, you're going to miss the discounts, the savings that Commanding General Yohanna has established for you down there in Chicago. Commanding General Yohanna has reserved a block of rooms in a hotel. Cheaper, vastly inexpensive compared to the other rooms. Beautiful rooms, but they're inexpensive because Commanding General Yohanna has reserved them for you. If you don't get down there and reserve these rooms before I think it's next Thursday. Am I right? Am I wrong? Someone find out. I think it might be tomorrow. Let's call it tomorrow. If you don't reserve these rooms tonight, you're going to miss all these savings. Commanding General Yohanna is going to speak about Mossad, the Israelis, the conspiracies between the Israelis and billionaires to rule the world. He's going to speak about this at the cookout and at his lecture in Chicago. You better reserve your room, or else you're going to pay top dollar at some Airbnb or some hotel because you were too slow. You better get your dumb ass down there and reserve that room, and you better do it now, today, ahora, este día, this day. You better do it now, este minuto. You better do it this minute. And if you don't, you're going to cost yourselves money. Everybody understands, all right?
Salakia, sir, if I may.
Please.
Salakia, sir. I always be wondering, you know what I'm saying, when we're talking about Epstein and Donald Trump, everybody forget about that. Donald Trump was at Club 54 back in, you know what I'm saying, back in the 80s amongst the LGBTQ, Michael Jackson, all the coke, all the drugs, all the pervertedness, and it was prestige. Only prestige people could go there. You know what I'm saying, underage kids, but as long as they look good, you could come into the club. Everybody forgot about that type of documentary. You know what I'm saying? We're coming down. Donald Trump got the pictures. Salakia.
Paratazar, you're a historian for those times. You're taking me back. You know, that's our time, Paratazar. That's our time. Club 54 in New York in Manhattan. Michael Jackson, Donald Trump, Grace Jones, all of the closeted LGBT community, he was there. They're taking pictures, making videos. Then they invented Epstein Island, where you go to this island and the whole damn island is on videotape. Everyone knows about this for 20 years. Let me just show you. Let me see the flight logs. Now remember, this is the story, Ephraim, I forgot to tell you. This week, Pam Bondi and the State Department, or whatever the hell Pam Bondi is over, she said, you know what? There are no Epstein videos. Ain't no such thing as Epstein. Who? Epstein who? Who are you talking about? There's no such person as Epstein. There's no Epstein Island. There's no videos. There's no client list. Nothing to see here. Forget about it all. And all of you stupid ass Donald Trump supporters who thought that Donald Trump was going to put himself in jail, you dumbass, you were heartbroken. Let's play the video. Play what you have here.
Releasing the list of Jeffrey Epstein's clients? Will that really happen?
It's sitting on my desk right now to review. That's been a directive by President Trump. I'm reviewing that. I'm reviewing JFK files, MLK files. That's all in the process of being reviewed because that was done at the directive of the president.
So that was said when Donald Trump first got in the White House, when he was running. They said, we're going to release we have all the videos. They're on my desk. The Epstein files, the client list, I'm looking at them on my desk. That's what she said. And everyone who loved Donald Trump and hates Mexicans said, good. Now we're going to fight pedophiles. Dumbass, you saw the video of Donald Trump dancing with Epstein. What in the hell is wrong with you? You Donald Trump supporters are stupid. You need to let smart Hispanics run this planet because Hispanics are smarter than white people. They're smarter than you. You need to let them run the planet because you thought you saw the video of Donald Trump dancing with Epstein and you thought he was going to release videos when he is on the video. You better let Mexicans run this world. Go ahead and play it.
The FBI have now concluded there was no Jeffrey Epstein client list. What do you tell MAGA supporters who say they want anyone involved in Jeffrey Epstein's alleged crimes to be held accountable?
This administration wants anyone who has ever committed a crime to be held accountable. And I would argue this administration has done more to lock up bad guys than certainly the previous administration. And the Trump administration is committed to truth and to transparency. That's why the Attorney General and the FBI Director pledged at the president's direction to do an exhaustive review of all of the files related to Jeffrey Epstein's crimes and his death. And they put out a memo in conclusion of that review. There was material they did not release because, frankly, it was incredibly graphic and it contained child pornography, which is not something that's appropriate for public consumption. But they committed to an exhaustive investigation. That's what they did.
That's enough. Donald Trump is committed to always arresting every criminal, except for the ones that broke into the Congress and beat cops with flagpoles and beat police officers with fire extinguishers. They all got pardoned, every last one of them. Donald Trump is on the Epstein files. He's on them. He's not going to release them. He was at the island. He was there. He is one of Epstein's clients. And he's not the only one. The most powerful men on the planet were there buying underage children. Play.
Could I just interrupt for a second? Are you still talking about Jeffrey Epstein? This guy's been talked about for years. You're asking, we have Texas, we have this, we have all of the things. And are people still talking about this guy, this creep? That is unbelievable. But I just said
Donald Trump don't know. He doesn't know why you keep asking about this. Why are you asking about this? We got Camp Mystic in Texas. We got so much going on. Why are you asking about Epstein? Why are you obsessed with this? Get this off your mind. Stop thinking about this. Why do you care about children for 20 years being molested? Why do you care about this? What's wrong with you? Why are you obsessed with children being molested for 20 years? Damn, don't you have anything else to do? That's Donald Trump. He's on the list. He's on it. Play.
Why is the FBI protecting the greatest pederast, the largest scale pederast in human history?
Simple, because of who's on that list. You don't think that Bill Gates is lobbying Congress night and day to prevent the disclosure of that list? And why is it that the Senate, and good for Senator Blackburn to try to get it out, but then Dick Durbin comes over the top and says, no, we're not going to release the names. I don't care about the list itself, but he released the names, right?
And I've said it, Dan Bongino said it, we've reviewed all the information and the American public is going to get as much as we can release. He killed himself. Do you think, let's play out the logical conclusion of this. Do you think that myself, Bongino, and others would participate in hiding information about Epstein's grotesque activities? Or do you think we would also participate in not prosecuting people we had evidence to prosecute people on? Where's the videotape of an Epstein Island of X, Y, and Z committing these frauds? Why haven't you given it to us? Do you really think I wouldn't give that to you?
Yeah. Pause. Yeah, I do. I think that the only reason that Donald Trump picked a crazy-eyed lunatic like you to be in charge of the FBI is because he was the loudest voice who was speaking about Epstein's Island and about all of the pederasts in high places who are being protected by the government. Donald Trump gave him a job, being in charge of the very agency that would investigate Epstein, and now he shuts his mouth. Do I think you would hide it? I think that's why you got the job, to hide it. I think you're incompetent and a crazy-eyed lunatic. And the only reason you got this job is to hide this list. Any more videos, Zach?
Yes, sir.
Go ahead.
Snake, he's a pedo defender. This guy, Vinny, right here, said that no matter how powerful these billionaires are, they need to be
Get down to the cat saying it.
Defend America's cover up of the Epstein client list.
I agree with you, but at what price? Take a deep breath. But hold on, hear me out. At what price? At any price, Adam. So you're saying to expose whatever happened on Epstein Island, you're willing to do whatever this looks like. Yes. Tear down the government, expose all the secrets, put America basically in harm's way just to find out what's Epstein. What do you mean, Adam? Because these are the most powerful people in the world that are apparently on this island.
Adam, so let the truth be told or the heavens fall. I don't care. Yeah, Adam, and that's who Vincent O'Shana is. I am 100% accountability, and I don't give you if that's what we were built on. At what price? I don't give a shit.
The fact that this guy said at what price, bro, there is no.
Play it. Let me pause it. Let me tell you what. This is why the list isn't coming out. Because this guy, I forget his name. He's some Israeli, Alan Oshansky or Alan Oshinsky. He's saying you should not release the list because it will destroy the most powerful people on the planet. So you should not release it at such a high cost. That's why they have the list. This is why the Israelis can commit genocide and no one can speak against them. This is why the Israelis get billions of dollars of money from America every year, because they know about every pederast and pedophile in America, and they're all billionaires, congressmen, senators, and presidents. And because of that, they have the loyalty of the nation of Israel, of the country of Israel. And this devil here is telling you he doesn't want the list to get released because it will hurt the powerful people. This is who you voted for. This is who you want. You don't love children. You should let Latinos rule the planet Earth. They are better than you. They're better people. They have a higher sense of morality. In prison, a pedophile would get stuck. he would get stabbed. Do you understand what that means? If a pedophile goes into prison, let me tell you something. If you walk into prison looking like a pedophile, you look a little too nerdy, you wearing glasses, they're going to say that's a Chester. That's a Chester child molester, and you're going to have to produce paperwork stating for what your charge is. And that's in California. I'm talking about the California penal system. If you go into California and you look like Chester child molester, if you can't prove that you're not, you're getting stabbed. That's a higher sense of morality than Congress, than the senators, than the royal family of England. They have a higher sense of morality in the California penal system than you do in the Senate and the Congress and the royal family of England. You don't believe me? Play it.
Parted. And I've never really felt the need to go and party.
Am I right in thinking you threw a birthday party for Epstein's girlfriend, Ghislaine Maxwell, at San...
Ephraim, let me give those of you who don't know context. Out there in the UK, you know who this is. This is not Earl. I'm sorry, this is not Sir, not Earl, not Duke. This is Prince Andrew. He is a royal prince in Great Britain. He is the brother to the King of England. He is Prince Andrew. And he has had a relationship with Jeffrey Epstein for 30 years. 30 years. And this is an interview he did. Since this interview, he has paid millions of dollars to the families of underage girls for having sex with these girls on Epstein Island. Now, you watch this video, started from the top.
And sir, if I could,
please.
When you sent me all these videos, you said you went down a rabbit hole. It kind of sent me down one. I didn't know until this interview that Jeffrey Epstein was a convicted sex offender going back 20 years.
Yeah, 20 years. 20 years. He kept bringing people to the island. He kept doing it because he was without reproach. No one could harm him because of his friends. Because of his friends. Continue.
No, it was a shooting weekend.
A shooting weekend.
Just a straightforward shooting weekend.
Why? Why were you staying with a convicted sex offender?
Right, because this was serious, and I felt that doing it over the telephone was the chicken's way of doing it. I had to go and see him and talk to him. Oh, in 2010, there certainly wasn't a party to celebrate his release in December, because it was a small dinner party. There were only 8 or 10 of us, I think, at the dinner.
You were staying at the house of
Yes.
a convicted sex offender.
It was a convenient place to stay, and I admit fully that my judgment was probably coloured by my tendency to be too honourable.
Okay. And your strengths?
But that definitely wasn't you getting a foot massage from a Russian girl in Jeffrey Epstein's house.
No.
No thanks. I don't want to be part of your sex festival.
It might seem a funny way to break off a friendship, a 4-day house party of sorts with a dinner. It's an odd way to break
It's a
up a
difficult
friendship.
way of putting it. That's a very stark way of putting it. Yes, you're absolutely right.
This is the Prince of England. This is who was there. This is why the Israelis have such power over the American budget. This is it. Because they have these videos. No one can speak against them. No one can talk against them because of their sin. Do you see? This is something that the Americans, the British, the Germans won't ever understand. To rule the world truly, you have to pick moral men. Men of morality. I'm telling you this today. There is more morality in the California State Prison than there is in Washington, D.C., than there is in Buckingham Palace. There's more morality. In the California State Prison, they would never let a pedophile go unpunished, ever. They're better people. They're not perfect. They're not One West. They're not Commanding General Johanna's men, but they're better than you. Give me Jeffrey Epstein's flight list. So now here, once again, we're going into proven conspiracies. Proven. This is the, now, of course, the United States government under Donald Trump says there's no client list. Nothing bad happened. And he absolutely committed suicide. Oh, yeah, by the way, on the night that Jeffrey Epstein committed suicide, there is 1 minute missing from the video outside his room. 1 minute missing. It's been deleted. It's been deleted from the video. 1 minute has been deleted. There's nothing to see here. It's normal. No big deal at all. He just committed suicide. Jeffrey Epstein committed suicide. And here's the problem. Why would he commit suicide if there's no evidence that could have convicted him? There's no client list. There's no videotape. So then why would he commit suicide? So you telling me right before he was about to be released because of a lack of evidence, he committed suicide? There's no evidence against the man. Nothing. Why would he commit suicide? Wouldn't he just wait in jail? And then later on, they would say, we have no videos. We have no client list. Release him because of a lack of evidence. He killed himself first before he could be released because of a lack of evidence. This conspiracy is true. This is true. Jeffrey Epstein did not commit suicide. He did not. Let's read the flight list. Now, you know, Jeffrey Epstein had a plane that would leave from Florida to bring all of his friends and buddies over there to Epstein's Island. We don't have the videos because, according to Donald Trump, they don't exist. But we do have the flight logs of who was on the plane that would go from Florida to Epstein's Island. Do you have that, Ephraim?
So, like I said, I just need a quick second to
yeah, they were screenshots I sent you. Screenshots.
I got them.
No problem. We're going to just read the names on this list and see. We don't know who went to Epstein's Island, but we do know who rode a plane to somewhere from Florida to somewhere around Epstein's Island. All right. So we're going to read the names on that plane whenever Ephraim has it. Am I missing any questions at all?
While I pull those up, did you want to see Alex Jones?
Of course.
Okay.
Glad OKC.
A disaster. I don't know how they got Trump and the DOJ to do this because the public is not buying it. No one is buying it. So I never saw any evidence of Trump involved in any of the stuff that came out. It was all fake. The fake Jane Does, all the crap, you know, E. Jean Carroll, the crazy leftist cat lady, all of it. So now by coming in and being part of the cover-up, the Trump administration has become part of it. I mean, it's just you cannot see it any other way. So I just got to the office. I'm going to go throw up, actually. And this only happens every few years when something really, really bad happens or something. I mean, I'm physically going to puke probably right now. My mouth is watering right now. It's because I just really need the Trump administration to succeed and to save this country. And they're doing so much good.
That's enough. You know who he is. This is Alex Jones, famous conspiracy theorist. He's always wrong. Alex Jones is stupid. He's a dummy. He said he didn't see any evidence that Donald Trump was part of the conspiracy. Meanwhile, there's a video of Donald Trump lusting after little girls alongside Epstein. He doesn't believe any of it because he's stupid. Mexicans are smarter than Alex Jones. Venezuelans, Haitians are smarter than Alex Jones. Alex Jones thought that Donald Trump was some pure righteous man that would kill Hispanics and raise white people up to their former glory. Donald Trump is a pederast. He's on the Epstein list. That's what Elon Musk said. He's on the list. Now, I'm going to read the flight logs. Can you bring me equal screen with the flight logs, Ephraim?
Yes, sir. I think it might make those too small to. Let me see if I can.
If you're able to do it so they can read it, because I just want our white friends out there to see how stupid they are. This is the actual flight logs of that the plane that left from Florida to go to Epstein Island. It's not a theory, it's the names on the flight logs. Read the top, and then if you can make it bigger, do it. If you need to make me smaller to make it bigger, go ahead. If not, leave me the same size. Go ahead.
Yes, sir. Bill Clinton.
Okay, read the top. What's the heading? Read the heading.
So Slack is covered up. Apology.
Take your time. No problem.
Notable individuals mentioned.
Can you remove those things off the screen?
Right.
There we go.
Notable individuals mentioned in the flight logs as per latest information.
Go ahead.
Bill Clinton.
Stop. Bill Clinton is on the flight logs, leaving from Florida to Epstein's Island. This is why Biden did not release the flight logs. I'm sorry. This is why Biden did not release the footage from Epstein's Island. This is why Joe Biden did not release the client list, because Bill Clinton and his nasty ass is on the flight log. He's already on it. This is it. He's on the flight log. So if you're ever wondering why President Biden didn't release it when he was president, it's because it would destroy his friends. Bill Clinton. Keep going.
Donald Trump.
Read that again.
Donald Trump.
Now, dumbass Alex Jones has seen this. Donald Trump is on the flight log, leaving from Florida on Epstein's plane, going to Epstein's Island. Now, once he got there, who knows what happened? No one knows. I'm sure he went to Epstein's Island to read the Bible. I'm sure that's why Donald Trump went to Epstein's Island to read the Bible from Genesis to Revelations. I'm sure that's why he was there. I don't know why he was there, but I know he went on the plane. Donald Trump, keep going.
Prince Andrew.
Bubbity. That's for you brothers out there in the UK. Take that to camp with you. Prince Andrew, the brother of King, what's his name? I forget his name.
Charles.
King Charles. He was on the flight logs. Him. Keep going.
Ghislaine Maxwell.
Jasleen Maxwell. She's in federal prison right now, Warrior. Jasleen Maxwell's in federal prison right now. You better keep a suicide watch on her. Keep going.
Michael Jackson.
Say that again.
Michael Jackson.
One more time.
Michael Jackson.
I'm sure Michael Jackson, the king of pop, was simply going to that island to practice his moonwalk. I'm sure that's why he was going there. He went to Epstein's Island. Michael Jackson, a famous pederast. Keep going.
Kevin Spacey.
Who?
Kevin Spacey.
Now, what is Kevin Spacey famous for besides acting? Let me try. Having sex with boys. That's what Kevin Spacey was sued for, having sex with young teenage boys. Kevin Spacey was on the plane going to Epstein Island. This is not a theory. This is on the flight logs. Keep going.
Naomi Campbell.
Naomi Campbell. Who is that? She's a sister or something, right?
Yes, sir.
God knows what they were going to do to Naomi Campbell there. Keep going.
David Copperfield.
David Copperfield. That's the magician, right?
Yes, sir.
He looks nasty. He looks like he's into something nasty. Keep going.
Alan Dershowitz.
Alan Dershowitz. That's that famous attorney. The famous lawyer, also Jewish, also a staunch defender of Benjamin Netanyahu and the Israeli government. Alan Dershowitz. I believe he was the lawyer for OJ. Keep going.
Bill Richardson.
Bill Richardson, he was a disgraced Democratic senator who was disgraced and had to leave office. I think he went to jail. Keep going.
Les Wexner.
Who is that?
Some billionaire.
Oh, a billionaire. Another billionaire on Epstein's Island. Keep going.
Jean-Luc Brunel.
Who the hell is that?
It says he was a model scout.
A what?
A model scout.
I don't even know what the hell that means, but it doesn't sound good. A model scout. Keep going.
And that's it. That's it on here.
Oh my! You missing another one? I sent you two of these. There's part 2 of the list. Do you have that?
Concert. That was both pages.
Okay, because Chris Tucker was on one of those. I don't remember hearing his name. Chris Tucker. He's on one of these lists. I read it. Do you see his name?
Not on these screenshots.
Chris Tucker from Rush Hour 3.
Somebody in the comments did say ISUPK Columbus said Chris Tucker was on those flights.
Chris Tucker is on this list. I thought I sent it to you. If not, it's my error. But Chris Tucker was also on this list. Chris Tucker was a big friend of Michael Jackson. He would love to party with Michael Jackson, that Chris Tucker. I don't know what he was doing, but I know he was on the plane. I know he was on the plane. Now, this is the Epstein conspiracy. So now it's not a theory. These are the people on the plane. He was arrested for child pornography and child molestation. Ghislaine Maxwell is in jail right now for soliciting child pornography and child molestation. She's in jail. And of course, Epstein committed suicide. Who was president when Epstein committed suicide? Look that up, please. Right now, the Donald Trump administration is saying that, there's nothing to see. There's no Epstein file. There's no Epstein client list. There's no Epstein video. That's what the Donald Trump administration is saying. Now, all I want to know is who was president when Epstein committed suicide? Can you Google that for me, please, Ock?
Yes, sir. Donald Trump was.
Say that one more time.
Donald Trump.
One more time, if you don't mind.
Donald Trump.
Yeah, Donald Trump was the president in charge of the Justice Department, in charge of the federal prison when Epstein just committed suicide, when they had no evidence against him. Do you know what this means? Epstein committed suicide for nothing because they don't have any evidence against him. They have nothing. No client lists, no videos, nothing. But he killed himself when Donald Trump was president. Now Donald Trump is president again. And there's no videos, no client lists. And he definitely committed suicide. There was no foul play here. Well, this is a conspiracy that is true. And many of you white people out there watching this, you're so angry about it because you're so stupid. You're so dumb. Mexicans are smarter than you. Mexicans would have never believed Donald Trump's BS. Never. But you did. Venezuelans, Haitians would have never believed Donald Trump's BS. But you did because you let racism supersede righteousness. You let racism supersede pedophilia. And now you're paying for it. And you feel stupid. You feel dumb. You know what you really feel like? You feel like a nigger now. Because black people went through this exact same thing. Black people went through this. Give me the white woman to explain the Iran-Contra affair. Many of you out there have heard of the Iran-Contra affair. Ephraim, just let me know when you're ready. I'll talk until you're ready.
Yes, sir.
Back in the 1980s, America was in the middle of what was called the Cold War. The Cold War was between the United States and the Soviet Union. The Soviet Union was led by Russia. America, it's called the Cold War because they would not directly fight each other, but they would fight through other countries. America would supply guns and money to one country. Russia would supply guns and money to another country. Those countries would fight each other, and in that way, America and Russia would carve up the planet Earth, building allies, right? The allies of Russia, biblically, would be called Magog. Russia is Gog in the Bible. Magog means of Russia. And this went on. The Vietnamese War was a part of the Cold War. The South Vietnamese were on the side of America. The North Vietnamese were on the side of Russia. The Korean War was also part of the Cold War. The South Koreans were on the side of America. The North Koreans were on the side of Russia, and they would fight each other. Pakistan and India, their conflict is part of the Cold War. Pakistan, it was on the side of Russia or the Soviet Union. India is on the side of America. And these are these wars. And that's why they were fought. They were really Russia and America fighting a chess game with each other. Russia and America would never fight each other because both of them had nuclear weapons. So they would just simply fight a conventional war through other people. Well, because of that, there was a war in Nicaragua. And Nicaragua fought between the Contras, who were on the side of the Americans, and the Sandinistas, which were on the side of the Russians. And these two people fought for control of Nicaragua. During that war, America was denied money from Congress. The United States Congress refused to give the United States or the president money to fight the Sandinistas. Ronald Reagan said, okay, if the Congress will not give me money to fight the Russians through the Sandinistas, then I'll find another way to feed my army. I'll find another way to fund the Contras. And Ronald Reagan decided to team up with drug dealers in Colombia and with pilots in Nicaragua to sell drugs in Los Angeles, California. The same city that ICE agents are stripping the children out of the arms of mothers today. Ronald Reagan sold drugs, sold cocaine in California so that he could use that money to buy guns and ammunitions to fight the Cold War in Nicaragua. And during that time, Los Angeles was flooded with cocaine. This is where the crack epidemic came from. This is not theory. This is congressional, senatorial fact. Please play the video.
In the 1980s, while Reagan was on TV talking about being tough on crime, and Nancy was all up in her red suit saying, just say no, the Reagan administration was secretly selling weapons to Iran and funneling the profits to a rebel group in Nicaragua. They were called the Contras. Congress had made it illegal for the government to sell them any arms, but they did it anyway off the books. Meanwhile, some of the people working with the Contras were smuggling cocaine into the U.S., and a lot of that coke ended up in black neighborhoods in the form of crack. The CIA knew, and they didn't stop it. Once the crack hit the streets, they didn't take any action to stop the Contras. They didn't send help for the communities being targeted. They didn't invest in any treatment for victims. They declared war on the people most affected, the war on drugs. In 1986, Congress passed a law that punished crack offenses 100 times more harshly than powder cocaine. That meant that possessing 5 grams of crack got you the same prison time as possessing 500 grams of powder. And of course, crack cocaine was used more often by Black people, and powder cocaine was the fancy drug of white folks. The damage done to the people by the different forms of the drug was the same. The punishment was not. By the 1990s, 1 in 3 Black men in their 20s was under some kind of criminal supervision.
Boy, oh boy. This is a true conspiracy. Let me tell you something. You young brothers out there, you might be in your 20s. I can't think of a thing that has affected your life more than the crack epidemic. Let me see the rooms out there. Let me see the camps out there.
Salaki, sir, if I may.
Please,
we can't forget about the major player, Oliver North. He was the witness to the conscience. He's the witness, and they gave him immunity for that. He got a podcast right now.
Yeah, Oliver North has a podcast, and Oliver North was the point man for the CIA to sell drugs through a surrogate that sold drugs to one person. His name was Ricky Ross, and he sold drugs in California. Raise your hand if your life was affected by the crack epidemic. The crack epidemic made you. It's why you are who you are. It affected the lives of every single Black and Hispanic that is alive today, because cocaine flooded our neighborhoods. All of our fathers became crackheads. Our uncles, our neighborhoods were wrecked with violence because of crack cocaine. That cocaine came from the United States government. That's where it came from. They were selling the cocaine to your uncles, to your fathers, and they were arresting them in the war on drugs, putting them in jail at the same time. They were the ones allowing the crack to come in, allowing the cocaine to come in, and then arresting your uncles and your fathers for being addicted to the drugs that they were winning a war with. At the end of the 80s, you know what happened? The Soviet Union fell. America won. America won the Cold War because they sold crack in Los Angeles, in Chicago, in Pittsburgh, in Texas, in Philadelphia, and in New York, through the Cali cartel, through the Medellin cartel. They won. They defeated the Soviet Union because your father had to be killed and your uncle had to be imprisoned. That's a true conspiracy. It's real. It actually happened. You don't believe me? I'm going to the the congressional hearing. Now, I remember this, like I was in the truth at this time. It was like 1996. And by 1996, crack was in charge of my entire teenage years. All of my teenage years revolved around crack. And it's hard. I don't know why I even have to explain this, because I know I don't have to explain this. I know that every brother listening, every Black, every Hispanic man who was alive during the 80s, if you were 13 years old in the 1980s, then you lived this. Crack. It's hard for me. I remember in the past, I tried to explain the crack epidemic to Captain Tawar or to Captain Ariel. And as I'm talking to them, I know that they don't understand. Let me see Chicago for a second. Chicago, are you there, Chi-Town?
Wakan, sir.
I try to explain crack to Captain Kyle Ward, Captain Aria, and I know they don't. I know I'm not good enough linguistically to explain it. Okay, I would say it was like a zombie apocalypse. Like, imagine The Walking Dead where it's zombies, not drug addicts like in your mind, people trying to get high, but zombies. And they are everywhere. If you don't, in Philadelphia, I grew up in Philly. We had front porches. All of us had bars on our front porches, bars, right? And if you didn't have bars, I grew up behind those bars. If you were on the porch, it was like you were in jail. Can you show me a street in Philadelphia with bars on the front porches? This is how we grew up. We grew up like this. I got a good story. If you can find it, I'll give you a good story about Captain Ty War that he will not like. but I'll tell you what. Crack was everything. Our lives revolved around it. It was the fuel, the engine for everything in our life. I remember I came into the truth in 95, and I'm watching TV, and they're saying that Ronald Reagan was selling it. I remember thinking, oh my God, this is going to explode the earth. This is the biggest thing that has ever been revealed. This is going to change everything. There's going to be revolution. Chicago, nothing happened. I remember it. Nothing happened. At all. Zoom in on it real fast. Zoom in on this picture. This is North Philly. I can tell you where this is.
Good night.
Zoom in close. You see this? Right there. Zoom in nice and close. This is my world I grew up in right here. This is giving me a nostalgic feeling, even seeing this. This is bringing me back. You see that porch right there? That's a front porch. Every house in neighborhood after neighborhood after neighborhood, the porches were covered in steel bars because the zombies, the crackheads, if there was any way to break into your house, you were getting robbed. And so when I was a little kid, I was on this porch looking out of it until I became 13. Then I was outside the bars, and other people had to put bars on their house to protect it from me. Do you understand? One day back in 1980 something, at my grandmother's house on Ogons Avenue in Philadelphia, Captain Ty Ward might have been 7 years old, 8 years old. I'm 10 years older than him, so I was probably 15. By then, I was a full-blown crack dealer by then, all right? So I'm at another house, but Captain Ty Ward is at my grandmother's house that looks exactly like this. All of a sudden, my sister, she was ironing her clothes to go to church Sunday morning, and she left the iron on her dress, and the iron and the ironing table caught on fire. It was on fire. The house began to go up in flames. My grandmother, my sisters, they run out the door of this house. They run out the door because the place is on fire. As they get outside, they remember that 8-year-old Captain Ty Ward is left inside the house, and the house is on fire. And there are bars and gates over every door, over the porch. I was not there. Do you know there was a crackhead outside? And this was crackheads back in the day. Crackheads had so much industry. Like a crackhead was industrious. He could do anything for crack money. He was like a jack of all trades. He could do anything. My grandmother told the neighborhood crackhead, Ty Ward is up in the back bathroom. He's still asleep. The crackhead ran into this burning house, pushed over the burning ironing board. The house is on fire. Ran to the back and woke up sleeping Captain Tawar, sleep in the bed. Carried him out the house down to safety. I don't know who this crackhead was, but to this day, I want to thank him. The water, brother, whoever you are out there. Barakatah Yahweh Yahweh Shai. You saved the prophet of God. You saved an anointed priest from death. We were trapped in the house because of the bars. The bars trapped us inside. We were trapped. Tawar was trapped. He was trapped. A crackhead who would do anything for $5 went in there, got Captain Tawar out, and we gave him $10. And that's a true story. And this is life. Our entire lives were revolved around crack cocaine. Ronald Reagan won the Cold War with crack cocaine. Chicago, did you want to say anything?
Hey, Conor McCon, if I could, sir, what you bringing out is so heavy. What you bringing out is so heavy, sir, because here in Chicago, we lived under the same conditions, and you know, I was a baby, I was a small kid in the '80s, but you know, I was a teenager during the '90s, just like yourself, Ottawa, and then like we lived in those same conditions. I remember those bars. Those bars was on every door and every window in every apartment building and every house that you could see in Chicago that wanted to remain safe. And thousands of people were unalived because when house fires happened, they were trapped. They were prisoners inside of their own homes and could not get out because of those bars. Those bars used to be anywhere from the first to the third or fourth floor in an apartment building because crackheads would climb up to the third, fourth, and fifth floor to break in your window to steal whatever they could. You know, and then they've had to make a city ordinance now where the bars are optional. It lowers your homeowner insurance. And now majority of apartment buildings in Chicago only have them on the first floor of apartments to this day to prevent the crime, prevent people from breaking in your house. But like you said, sir, it was like the Walking Dead out here. You know what I mean? Crackheads were robbing children. I have friends who were kids who were walking home from school or going to school in the morning, and a crackhead beat them up and took their lunch money to buy crack. You know, I've seen sisters out here selling their body to go and get crack for the cheapest price possible. Whatever you had in your pocket, they would sell their body to you. Drug dealers would do unseemly things to brothers and sisters because they were the ones with the crack. And to get that drug, a crackhead would do whatever was demanded or requested of them to get that drug, sir. You know what I mean? And I myself dabbled in the streets. You know, I've for some reason, I was that guy that crackheads always wanted to come and tell me their life story. You know what I mean? So it's like, but I've heard some horror stories about how they ended up on it, what they've done for it, sir. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think the younger generations, I was just talking to a sister today. I said that, you know, growing up in the 90s and seeing the effects of crack, because in Chicago in the 90s, that was the crack era was the 90s. We didn't have 1,000 shootings per year. We had 1,000 murders per year here in Chicago in the 90s. The murder rate. Now they talk about how many people were shot, the gun violence. Well, what I lived in, what we grew up in, sir, was the murder rate was 800, 900, 1,000, 1,100. And the majority of it was during the summer, and it was all over crack. And I thought that when I was younger, to show you how horrible of a drug this is and how horrible of an addiction that these devils put into our communities to destroy the black family, which was our biggest power base, that I thought that eventually there would be no more crackheads in the earth. I grew up, I see crackheads. I never wanted to be one. I've had people offer it to me. I've had people try to lace a marijuana blunt with it. You know, and all types of things to try to get you hooked on it. And I thought eventually that by now in 2025, that crack would be like a legendary drug that faded away. But there are I just found out that one of my managers, sir, this man makes about $80-something thousand a year. And just about 4 or 5 months ago, he started smoking crack. Now he's on the verge of getting fired. There are new crackheads born every day out of one, and I really thought that it would be over by now. And being in the truth, I realize that this is one of the plagues that is put upon our people because we are under this oppression and we refuse to come back to who we are. Salakia, sir.
Well said. Give Chicago a hand, bro. Well said. Sadly, everything you're saying is true. Sadly. Is there anyone else that would like to speak about their experiences with the crack epidemic? I mean, so many fathers out. That's why you didn't see your father. So many of you had sex for the first time because you paid a crackhead to have sex with you. So many of you, your child's mother wasn't around because she got a crack. Pittsburgh, is it something you wanted to say?
Con, sir. I lost my mother and my father both to crack.
I'm so sorry, brother. I'm so sorry. Tell me how it happened.
They just abused drugs from the time they were young all the way up into their 50s. They died in their early 50s.
And so tell me about the effect that that had on you as a child when they were going through their addiction.
It was terrible. My mother was pretty much raised us alone. My grandmother pretty much raised us. We were poor. My father was in the service and he was away. When he came back, he was real bad on drugs. My uncles, everybody pretty much on my mother's side was on crack. Everyone, all of them, all their friends, everyone was. I remember the smell. And I knew when I was very young that I would never do it though. I knew I would never do it.
The smell. You brought me back, warrior. The smell, right? It's like a different smell, but you just took me there just now. The smell. And it was just on everything and everybody. And it began to be on people who you respected. That's really when it changed your life, when you smelled it on your mother and on your father and your aunts and uncles. People before that, you were like authority figures. But then they became crackheads. They just became crackheads. I'm so sorry you had to go through that, brother. But just know you're not alone. And you're not alone in your redemption either. You're not alone in your resurrection either. You understand?
All right,
brother. Is there anyone else that would like to speak?
Salakia, so if I may.
I'm listening, please, Practice.
What you're dropping is so a hard body on 1 West. Also, when I was young, at first
we can't see you, Paratazar, just so you know, we can't see you.
Salakia, I'm doing some more. Salakia, so when back up, right here, all right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I remember when it first when it started coming to Yonkers. Yonkers is small, you know what I'm saying, during the time, and it came by like the new weed. That's how so many people. That's how it grabbed people. Like, yo, what is this stuff right here? And that's I remember it start off like that. This is some weed. Then within like 6 months, I mean, a lot of people destroyed. Then when I turned I remember I was in 5th grade, and the brother I was going to elementary school with, he was showing me the crack vials. Yeah. He was telling me, yo, this is $100 and $30 right now. What I have. He's a 6th grader, and I'm a 5th grader. I'm like, how this little thing is, but it didn't really dawn because when you was a kid, you don't really know what's going on because you still try to be a kid. Yeah. But you just, you just hear your parents say, don't go up the block over there. You know what I'm saying? Something's going on with Tom, and to go back to the story, what you're talking about, that the person that was on crack, the things that they was doing. Because I had a family member literally jumped into the Hudson water to save a girl that fell in the water, because in Yonkers we on the bottom, so it just the train tracks, then the water, and everybody used to hang out at the arena. And the little girl fell in the Hudson River, and my uncle ended up jumping in the river and taking her out there, taking it out the river. But we had to pay him. You know what I mean? We had to pay him.
Yeah.
That's what happened. But you know, that's my story. But yeah, it completely destroyed my neighborhood. Slocky.
I mean, these stories are universal. The crack epidemic came through. It started in California. It started in Los Angeles, and then it spread from Los Angeles to every corner of Black and Hispanic life, like a wave that went through Camp Mystic in Texas, like a wave. And all of our lives were changed, all of us. Let me explain to you something, brothers, if I could right now. Later on, there was a news article from a reporter. What was the reporter's name, Ephraim, if you can find out? He did a news article, and the name of the article was Evil Connections, Dark Connections. What city was it in, Ephraim? Do you know?
In San Jose. It's Gary Webb.
Say one more time.
Gary Webb.
Gary Webb in the San Jose Examiner, I believe. And the name of the series was Dark Connections?
Dark Alliance.
Dark Alliance. Gary Webb uncovered this. He uncovered this because he spoke to a woman who was the mother of Ricky Ross in Los Angeles, California. Then he spoke to Rick Ross. Many of you have heard of that name. That's a name that rappers use today, Rick Ross. Well, the rapper Rick Ross is named after the actual man who was the contact between the CIA and Nicaragua, and he would bring drugs to Rick Ross, and Rick Ross was the point man that spread drugs all over Black and Hispanic communities. It started with one person and his mother, Rick Ross. And this man, what's his name again?
Gary Webb.
This man, Gary Webb, broke the story. He interviewed Rick Ross. He interviewed Gary Webb from his story called Dark Alliances. The reason he called it Dark Alliance is because there was an alliance between the crack dealers in Los Angeles and the CIA. And he uncovered it. From there, Congress was furious. Women, the congresswoman over South Central Los Angeles at that time, her name was Maxine Waters. Give Maxine Waters a hand, brother. Maxine Waters is not in the truth. She's not One West, but she was so sincere at trying to uncover this dark alliance between the CIA and drug traffickers in Los Angeles, because her community was devastated by the crack epidemic. And she brought all of her evidence in front of Congress. There was a hearing. There was a congressional hearing. I remember seeing this hearing as I was young in the truth, going, this is going to change everything. This is the biggest news story in history. Chicago, I thought when I was 20 when I came into the truth, something like that. I thought this was the biggest news story in history. I remember thinking to myself, oh my God, this is bigger than the Kennedy assassination. This is the biggest thing in history. I just knew this was going to blow the roof off of crime and injustice. I was young and naive, Chicago. Young and naive. Maxine Waters was also naive. She was naive. I'm going to give you some clips from her congressional hearing. Let's end it with her final thoughts. Ephraim, do you have what I need?
Yes, sir.
Go ahead and play it. You just skip around and end it with her closing arguments. Go ahead.
Then CIA Director John Deutsch laid out the framework for this investigation. In his instructions to CIA Inspector General Frederick P. Hetz, Director Deutsch stated, I have no reason to believe that there's any substance to the allegations published in the Mercury News. Despite his premature conclusion, a serious, substantial, and credible investigation and interview process would have proven him wrong. If the CIA director's premature conclusion was meant to direct the final outcome, he has succeeded. This report's sweeping denial of the CIA's knowledge of drug trafficking related to the Contras defies the evidence and the logic that the CIA should have known.
Just like the Jeffrey Epstein conclusion, you know what they said about the Iran-Contra affair, about the CIA selling drugs in Los Angeles? The government said there was nothing to see here. The CIA didn't do it. There's nothing. Nothing happened. That's what they said about the Iran-Contra affair. They said the same thing about the Jeffrey Epstein scandal, except back in the 80s, it wasn't children being molested on Epstein Island. It was the wave of crack and cocaine that came through Los Angeles and destroyed all of our fathers, all of our mothers. But the government said there's nothing to see. There's no list. There's no conspiracy. Maxine Waters was not satisfied. She kept pushing. Keep going.
In fact, Bay of Ray and his squadron even existed. Much of the CIA bombing mission in the Bay of Pigs debacle. For 37 years, the CIA denied that Mr. Ray and his squadron even existed, much less were shot down by Cuban troops in 1961. Only this month, faced with a document obtained by Freedom of Information Act request by the National Security Archives, did the CIA finally admit the truth 37 years later. My deep concern about the allegation.
If I could, sir, some context on that. She brought up a story that had just come out to say, we already know the CIA is lying to us.
Yeah, she brought up the Bay of Pigs incident when the USA tried to invade Cuba in 1964. They said they didn't try to invade Cuba. They didn't do it. It wasn't until 30 years later that they said, yes, we did try to invade Cuba. These are true conspiracies, not theories. She's saying that the CIA is doing the same thing with selling drugs in South Central Los Angeles. They're lying. They've done this before. Now here we are in 2025. They're doing it again with the Jeffrey Epstein story. Continue.
As CIA agent who accepted drug money from Mr. Meneses, Mr. Dagoberto Nunes, who ran a shrimp company for the Oliver North in Costa Rica, Rene Corvo, a Cuban-American who worked with the Contras in Costa Rica, Mr. Francisco Shanz, owner of the shrimp company for Oliver North in Costa Rica, Mr. Edmundo Meneses, American-trained Nicaraguan general and Norwin Meneses' brother, Mr. Sebastian Gonzalez, Contra leader in Costa Rica and drug partner of Meneses.
And sir, these are all the people they neglected to interview in their report.
Con, absolutely.
I assert here today that these are all CIA assets, and I would challenge this committee to ask the Inspector General and others, perhaps in the CIA, to document for you whether or not my allegations are true. They should give you sworn testimony as to whether or not they have knowledge about the people that I'm submitting to you being assets of the CIA. Today, allegation summarizes some of the other investigations that found Contra involvement in drug trafficking. For example, the Senate Subcommittee on Terrorism, Narcotics, and International Operations, chaired by Senator John Kerry, conducted a 2-year investigation into allegations of Contra involvement in drugs and arms trafficking. The CIA Inspector General report summarizes some of the Kerry Commission's 1,166-page reports, devastating findings on page 35 through 38. These are some of the admissions. Drug traffickers use the Contra war and their ties to the Contra as cover for their criminal enterprises in Honduras and Costa Rica. Assistance from the drug lords was crucial to the Contras. And the traffickers, in turn, promoted and protected their operations by associating with the Contra movement. Drug traffickers provided support to the Contras and used the supply network of the Contras. Contras knowingly received both financial and material assistance from the drug traffickers. In each case, one or another U.S. government agency had information regarding these matters, either while they were occurring or immediately thereafter. Members of the Contra movement were involved in drug trafficking of the Contra operation. Pages 20 through 24 of this report confirms that the CIA essentially created, funded, supplied, and trained the Contras, and that the CIA was intimately involved in determining their strategy and running their operations. Meneses was never arrested by U.S. law enforcement. He was permitted free entrance to the United States and even issued a visa. How was this allowed, and why was it allowed to continue? Let me just say that Meneses dealt drugs in the United States for over 10 years or more. Starting back in 1974, he was a drug dealer before he came to the United States. He was even involved in a murder in Nicaragua. He dealt drugs without any interference, without any intervention. He had assets and businesses in San Francisco. As a matter of fact, Congresswoman Pelosi referred to the Frogman case. When they tracked down some of Meneses' people, they tracked them to the very house that was connected with the Frogman case where many of those people were involved. Trafficking by 1984, and the DEA had known of his trafficking activities as early as 1974. Incredibly, the report fails to mention anything about the activities of Adolfo Calero, only mentioning that he was interviewed. He was the key Contra leader and CIA agent on the Southern Front. Damning public information ties Calero to drug trafficking. In a December 1986 interview, Calero told the Costa Rican newspaper La Nacion that he met with drug kingpin Norman Meneses at least 6 times, and that he knew Meneses was involved in drug trafficking. Now, in our investigations, we had found out that Meneses had met with Adolfo Calero, and that Meneses and Blandón had been going to these meetings, both in San Francisco and in Los Angeles, despite the fact that these—
If I could real quick, sir, some context. She speaks about how her and her team on her own money went over there and did their own investigation later on.
That I would like that timestamp that I sent you if I could. Let's start playing some of those timestamps I sent you. Do you have them?
Concert, these are the ones that you said, the ones that I've been
Give me that you just described, because she paid her own money to go over there, and that she also met with Rick Ross and his mother. You can give me some of those. Play some of that, and then end it with the in her closing arguments.
Come on.
cocaine trafficking to fund its contra-war activities. Unfortunately, my failure of this information, difficult to talk about all of this information in 10 minutes, but I'm going to try and do it as quickly as I possibly can. Mr. Chairman and members of the committee, I'm here today to testify about the failure of the Central Intelligence Agency to conduct a serious and thorough investigation into the allegations of CIA involvement in cocaine trafficking to fund its contra-war activities. Unfortunately, my fear that the CIA would be unable to investigate itself has been confirmed with this report. The Inspector General's report lacks credibility. It is fraught with contradictions and illogical conclusions. In a September 3rd, 1996 memo, then CIA Director John Deutsch laid out the framework for this investigation. In his instructions to CIA Inspector General Frederick P. Hetz, Director Deutsch stated, "I have no reason to believe that there's any substance to the allegations published in the Mercury News. Despite his premature conclusion, a serious, substantial, and credible investigation and interview process,
We played that one already.
while others
Skip down to whatever else
dismissing
we have.
any CIA knowledge of or involvement in contra drug trafficking into the U.S. This is an outrageous contradiction. Moreover, the report is littered with damaging admissions. This report admits Norman Menezes was one of the biggest drug dealers in America, either north and south, and he supplied Danilo Blandone. Blandone, in turn, was the source who supplied Ricky Ross, and Blandone and Menezes did so unhindered by the CIA. It is unreasonable to
everyone just heard that Blandetto was the source that supplied Ricky Ross. Ricky Ross was the black drug dealer that was the funnel to funnel drugs into South Central Los Angeles, and from South Central into New Orleans, into New York, into Chicago, into your life, into everyone's life. And it started through Rick Ross. Through Rick Ross, who worked for the CIA. Have you ever watched a TV show called Snowfall? The TV show Snowfall is based in a true story. That's a true story. It's based in a true story. And here we are in Congress, where they're bringing up Rick Ross's name in Congress because he was the CIA point man to funnel drugs to his people. Continue.
Trafficking by 1984, and the DEA had known of his trafficking activities as early as 1974. Incredible. Here, under what pretense? A covert operation or any kind of operation involved in drug trafficking. Page 70 to 71 of the report documents the connection between CIA asset and FDN military leader Enrique Bermudez, Menezes, and Blandone. Blandone and Menezes traveled to Bolivia in 1982 to make a drug deal and stopped en route to Honduras. While in Honduras, Blandone and Menezes met Bermudez for the second time. Bermudez asked Blandone and Menezes to help raise money and supplies for the FDN. He let the drug traffickers know that their support would be welcome because, I quote, and everybody quotes, even your reported quotes, that he said, the ends justifies the means. Blandone then describes how he and Menezes were escorted to airport by armed Contras after the meeting with Bermudez. Blandone left the meeting. He left this meeting with $100,000 in a bag to buy drugs. The profits from the sale of these drugs were to be used to buy supplies and fund the Contras. Blandone tells of how he ran into trouble at the airport in Honduras when he was caught with the $100,000. But guess what? Just like in the Frogman case, where they caught them with the dope and the money, and they returned the $36,000 based on that attorney general that you had in San Francisco having been told that it was contra money. This man with $100,000 in drug money to buy more drugs for more supplies was assisted by the Contras at the airport. And even though it had stopped him, they had taken $100,000 out of his brief. With the intervention of the Contras, they gave it back to him. And he went along his merry way. Where did the $100,000 come from?
Begin to conclude the remarks.
Yes, I'm
very
going to
much
get
appreciate. We've been
Let me stop you.
over generous.
Ephraim, you don't have this timestamp where she talked about how she went over there and met with these people. I believe I sent that to you. Where she went over there, she met with them. This, if you can on your own time, go watch this entire interview. It will explain what was happening in your life at that time and what happened to your mother, what happened to your father. It's going to give you the architecture of the destruction of your family. You didn't know this was happening, but this was happening on a high place with these drug dealers and the CIA and Congress people. And they were all orchestrating your death because the ends justified the means. I'll explain that. yes, you were going to lose 3-4 generations of blacks and Hispanics, but they would win the Cold War. They would defeat the Soviet Union. So it was worth it to them because they don't consider the lives lost important. What's more important is that they defeat their enemy. And the CIA sold drugs in Los Angeles. Now, Los Angeles is being raided by ICE agents right now. Now the federal government is raiding the same city that they flooded with drugs to win a war in Nicaragua. If you want to play something else, play that. If not, Ephraim, you got to skip me to right after this. If you don't have the part that I sent you about when she went over there. If you can play that, if not, just
timestamp
right from here. Say again.
I don't think I have that timestamp, sir. Salakia.
No problem, Mark. Just play it right from here. Then go ahead.
Remarks, which we will accept for the record without objection.
Where did the 100,000 come from? Did they give back the 100,000 to Blandon because of the Contra CIA connection? Well, Mr. Chairman and members, it's hard to refute and to help educate in 10 minutes. I'm going to submit this for the record, but I'm going to close by saying this. This report is not credible. This report does not do the job, Mr. Chairman. We owe it to ourselves as public policy makers to do something. Why do I do all of this? Because I want to find some CIA operatives, assets, or agents and somehow convict them. That's not going to happen. And I don't believe that, and that's not what I'm trying to do. I am trying to raise the level of this discussion because we've got some work to do as public policy makers. The least we could do is develop public policy that will indicate that drug trafficking can never be used in any covert operation, no matter what is being attempted. We cannot continue to put our heads in the sand. It's a shame what happened with the Kerry report. The idea that members of the Congress of the United States on the Senate side could have presented us with so much documentation. And then years later, we have the investigation that was done by the San Jose Mercury, and we find more information about drug trafficking, and either the CIA absolutely knowing or turning its head, and we still can't come up with public policy. At the same time, we're spending millions of dollars talking about a war on drugs. Give me a break, Mr. Chairman and members. We can do better than this. I will not go away, members. I cannot go away. My community has been devastated, as many communities across this nation. As a result of this work, I've been in at least 7 or 8 states with town hall meetings, including New York and New Jersey and St. Louis. And I continue to have several requests every week to come and do town hall meetings and radio stations, because people are outraged and concerned about the fact that somehow this drug problem won't go away, and the idea that the government could be involved. I challenge this committee to get involved with public policy that would get our government out of ever being involved in any way. And while you're doing this, why haven't something been said about General Davila in Honduras, who also was a CIA asset that was caught putting a ton of drugs into the airplane? The drugs found its way into the United States and was sold on the streets. And that was recently, and we still haven't heard a word. When I check with the Justice Department, they tell me they can't say anything. And I suppose you have information you can't say anything about. But I think somehow we've got to do better. The lives of our children and our communities are at stake. I thank you, and I submit this for the record, and more information and documents if you would like to have it.
Stop. Let me tell you something, Ephraim. This poor sister tried. Let me tell you another story. I was 14 years old. It's before I really started to hit the streets. And I had my first little job, and I made $300. I remember it so specifically. And at that time, I had a hero. The hero in my life at that time was my uncle. My uncle was my hero because he would lift weights and he was big and strong. Then my uncle started to change. He began to be different. His face began to look sunken in. He began to be skinny. I didn't know what was wrong with him, but he was my hero. So one day I fell asleep, and my grandmother would always tell me, if your uncle is here, you can't go to sleep. You got to stay awake. And I remember at 13 thinking, why can't I go to sleep if my uncle is here? This is my hero. He lifts weights and he's strong. But they would always tell me if he was around, I would have to watch the TV, watch the clothes, watch it. And I remember thinking, okay, but I didn't understand why I had to watch my uncle when he was around. One day I fell asleep, and I remember waking up and I looked at the TV to see if the TV was missing. And the TV was there, and I said, okay, I didn't mess up. Then I realized I left my paycheck from my first little job on the counter. I went over to the counter and my $300 was gone. I remember being so angry, and I knew he had it. And then finally he came back in, and I looked at his face, and I picked up a baseball bat. It was a baseball bat would sit around. I grabbed it, and I was so short and he was so tall. And I remember cursing at him for the first time, speaking to him like he was a piece of trash. And he was looking at me, and his eyes were welling up with tears. And he looked so sick in his face. And he just told me, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. And I remember holding the baseball bat up, and then my heart being filled with pity. And I just said, get the F out of here. I was 13. He was a grown man. I said, get the F out of here. And he just left. And it was that day that I lost my hero to crack. I lost him. I didn't have a hero anymore to crack. Since then, you fall in love with a woman. You think she's beautiful. She's on crack. You have a best friend. You think you can trust him. She's on crack. You think you have a buddy. He's on crack. It just began to destroy all of our lives. And then when I first came into the truth, I realized that it was the government of America that was selling crack to my family, to my brothers, to my community. And it was uncovered by one reporter, a white man. You people out there think there are no good white people? There are some good white people out here. You want to watch our tapes, they kiss our boots every day. Let me give you the name of a good white man. What's his name, brother? Ephraim.
Gary Webb.
Gary Webb, give him a hand. Gary Webb he worked in San Jose on the newspaper. And he uncovered all of this because Rick Ross and his mother called him. And he did the research. And he worked on it. And he wrote a news story called, what was the name of the news story again?
Dark Alliance.
Dark Alliances. And his news story was so credible that it made its way to the United States Congress. Now show me what happened to Gary Webb. Ephraim?
Gary Webb committed suicide, sir.
Gary Webb committed suicide. Just like Jeffrey Epstein. Gary Webb committed suicide. Just like Jeffrey Epstein. He's dead. He killed himself. He killed himself, Gary Webb. And he was a good white man. And he's gone. And his case is forgotten about, and no one cares because the victims in his case are people that don't matter. The victims in the Jeffrey Epstein case are children compared to the princes and presidents on that list. Those children don't matter. What you have to see in this is that there's no difference between Democrats and Republicans. There's no difference at all in the government. All of them are truly together in sin. What you need in America, in Great Britain, in Mexico, in Venezuela, and Guatemala is revolution. The people from the bottom have to be the people on top, and the people on top have to go to the bottom. And once we have true revolution, then morality will rule the world. Kindness will rule the world. Caring for children, caring for the poor will be the ruling class. Until then, nothing can change, no matter how much you try, no matter how much you uncover. The real effort is not done in Congress, but it's done every time you resist smoking a cigarette, every time you resist smoking weed, every time you resist crack cocaine. A revolution is happening. Every time you resist a prostitute, a revolution is happening. Every time you resist a life of crime, a revolution is happening. The people on the bottom will go to the top, and the people on the top will go to the bottom. I pray you understand. With that said, let's pass the class over to Harlem, New York, and make way for Cross the Line. My apologies, pardoname. Cross the line. Let me say the water to the brothers that were here tonight. The water, the headquarters, man. Harlem, New York. The water brothers. The water for the brothers that told their stories, that told what happened. Who else? Is that it? Is that all we have left?
So everybody's still with us.
The water to Pittsburgh, man. Good to see you, Pittsburgh. What's your name again, officer?
Shalak, it's a priest officer Kwamgwan.
Priest and officer Kwamgwan. What does your name mean?
Rise to majesty, sir.
Rise to majesty. Outstanding. Kwamgwan. Out of Pittsburgh, give him a hand. The water to Chi-Town, man. Chicago, Illinois. Good to see you, warriors. The water to Haiti. Haiti. Sapase. Haiti. Give him a hand, warrior. Give him a hand. Who else do we have? That was at Baltimore. Baltimore, Maryland. I missed you tonight. Did you want to say anything? I can't hear you. Be more. Be more. You're on mute. He'll come back. I can't hear you. Be more. Give Atlanta a hand, man. The Braves out there in Atlanta. Give him a hand. Trinidad. Give Trinidad a hand, man. I did come see you brothers in Trinidad too. Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Give Milwaukee a hand. Good to see you. Hold up. Gator Bait. Give Gator Bait a hand up there, man, in Florida, man. Good to see you, Florida. Is there something you wanted to say? Did any of you brothers want to say anything?
Salaki, sir, Chicago, if we could, sir.
Go ahead, Chicago.
Salaki, sir, we know that coming up from July 31st to August 3rd is the Midwest Fire Weekend. You know what I'm saying? It's going to be the what everyone would call the Chicago Cookout, but it's the Midwest Cookout. So we have hotel rooms booked. We have a slot of hotel rooms. So anyone, and I mean anyone and everyone that wants to book their hotel, it's very important that you book your hotels tonight because the deadline is tomorrow. If you do not book your hotels tonight or tomorrow, you may be stuck without a hotel. There are several events going on in Chicago, the Lollapalooza, and a whole bunch of other events that Satan and the white man has set up during our cookout. So it's very important. Go to ISUPK Chicago's website, find the number, book your hotels between tonight and tomorrow. Tomorrow is the very last day. If you do not book your hotel for the Midwest Fire Weekend, you're going to end up paying double and triple the amount of what you're going to pay if you book it now. Okay, so I just wanted to give that announcement, sir. Salakia. But so go to ISUPK Windy City Facebook page so you can get the link to book your hotels for the Midwest Fire Weekend. Right now we have a deal that's going on with the hotel. After tomorrow, that deal ends because of all the events going on in Chicago that Esau has planned. You will pay. You can pay what we have, or you can end up paying $300, $400, $500 for you know what I mean, for your hotel room. So that's what I wanted to push onto the nation, sir. So go to ISUPK Windy City on Facebook. and click the link, reserve your hotels now. You do not have to pay up front, but you do have to reserve your hotel rooms, or you will end up paying 3 to 4 times the amount. And the deadline is tomorrow, July 11th. Salakia, sir.
Listen, don't be stupid, man. Click onto that link and pay it. The Water Chicago, was that it?
Well, yeah, also, sir, you know what I'm saying, the agenda for the Midwest Fire Weekend, of course, we're going to kick it off Thursday night. We're going to kick it off Thursday morning with a special edition Roundtable of Truth with special guest, General Shawamar. Then on Thursday night, it's going to be your scripture, the baddest scripture breakdown class in the entire world, sir. Your General MAHAYAMAN scripture breakdown class. Then on Friday, of course, you know what I'm saying, we have Commanding General Yohana's lecture. You know what I'm saying, we got the nightlife. On Saturday, we have a food and clothing drive in Little Village, which is a predominant Hispanic neighborhood here in Chicago. Then we're going to move to Saturday night. We're going to have, we also have a day party that we're planning on Saturday after the food and clothing drive, then the nightlife. And then, of course, Sunday is going to be the cookout. So it's the Black and Brown Unity Cookout, and I'm telling you right now, we have a location right now that's going to blow your mind because it is in the middle of one of the premier Black and Brown areas in the entire city. So come on down to Chicago, you know what I'm saying, for the Midwest Fire Weekend, starting on July 31st. It's going to be July 31st through August 3rd. You don't want to miss this one. It's going to be one of the biggest ones ever. Salaki, sir.
Well said, Chicago. The Water Brothers. I'm going to end you with that for Cross the Line. Yahweh en el nombre de Yahweh Shai. Te bendiga. Yahweh en el nombre de Yahweh Shai. Cuide sobre ti. Kom Yasha Allah. The Water Harlem.
Wrap it up for the class. Men of Israel, we're going to give verses. Men of Israel, march back.
Yahweh Bashem, Yahweh Shai, Barak Thumb, to what I can be safe. Shalom.
So I turn to the system. Men of Israel, we're going to give one verse salute to the system. Men of Israel, march back. March. Yahweh Shabbat, Bashem, Yahweh Shai. Guys, we're time. Class dismissed.